It takes a little bit of time to really just start up.
Yeah, like you out here like just dropping bombs and everything, man.
You gotta wait a
Jeez.
little bit. Give it a little bit of time before we can confirm that we're on. Okay, I think we're on for sure. It says
that's
it
good.
tells
That's
me
'cause-
it tells me you are live. The internet can totally see you now. So
Well, hopefully you can totally see us because the
Thanks, Streamlabs,
GameCube
appreciate
is
it.
better than the Nintendo 64 library and all.
Oh,
It's totally
That's,
true.
that's your opinion.
them fighting nerds.
Nah, that's
Wayne
fact
Barron.
based on library.
No, that's just your opinion. That's all.
Wayne
Ocarina of
Barron.
Time and Majora's Mask are on the GameCube.
Let me ask you a question.
And
Abdon.
Four Swords,
Let me
and
ask you a
Twilight
question.
Sword, and Wind Waker.
Is Fantasy Star
I can get
Online
those
on
too.
the N64?
It's not, but it's still
The
still
game that
at the
you
end
bought,
of the
you bought
day,
an
Or have
you bought an
Resident Evil
Xbox. You
I mean,
bought
it
an
is.
Xbox for one game.
to play with my
Oh, I
friends.
did too.
So Fantasy Star Online, and I know you like the previous Fantasy Star Online, and you know the GameCube one is lit. So you're trying to tell me that you got a game on that you could play online, that you could have played on. What could you do that on the N64? Could you do that on the N64?
But my point
Ran
is,
net
sound
was
like
limited.
but my point is, it's all subjective, is it not?
No,
No,
you're
that's
right.
objective. I just named 5 Zelda games on the GameCube.
See, VC. This is where you kill your credibility. Except you know the difference. Go. Matter of fact, that's what you do, VC. Go to
There's
Webster's.
5 Zelda games.
My
on
guy. Go to Webster's. I want you to look up the
Five.
word. Look up the word objective. Look up the word
5.
subjective. I want you to
Zelda
read them out
games.
loud.
But wait a minute.
Let's go.
Resident Evil 4.
Time out. But he is being
On the
but wait a minute.
GameCube.
I think he is being objective though, because he said that he's giving his reasoning
Yeah.
why.
That's not no. That's still a subjective feeling of why you say
It's
it.
no- it's subjective. No, hold on.
Subjective is me saying Mario 64 is the best game out of everything, which it is. But that's not library.
Yeah, here's what I
out of
think.
everything.
Here's what I think the difference. I know what you're saying, Abaddon, and you're partially correct. I think you're partially correct. Subjective is when somebody just names something. When somebody just says N64 is better than the
Clear
GameCube
opinion.
because of this, this, and this. And then everyone's like, well, wait a minute, hold up. But the GameCube has this. VC says,
Just
hey,
because you can supporting your subjective feeling doesn't make it objective. It's still
Objective can be
subjective at the end of the
looking
day.
Objective can be
Supporting
looking at it from,
subjective
from
feeling,
both
I feel like
ways.
you're just making stuff
Objectively
up now.
speaking.
Who
Objectively
who
speaking.
makes
GameCube
sentences
has
like
a
that,
wider
right?
library.
Yes,
than N64.
objectively
Yeah.
speaking,
I
GameCube has
agree.
a wider
That-
library of games.
That's
GameCube
what-
factually,
that's
hold
what
up,
you
time out.
said.
GameCube
You said that.
factually has more
I
agree.
games than the
Robert
N64.
Reed says it
That's
best.
not what he
Facta,
said. That's not what he said.
facta.
That's not what he said. You're saying something totally different than what he said.
Okay.
He said it is the best. It is better than
Then
N64.
library.
Than N64.
Library to library.
And
'Cause if
I
I
would
just play
say
Turok all day, I'm gonna say N64
Better.
is better.
exactly. When you say better than someone's library, then that's subjective. Now, when you say wider library, that's factual. You're not being factual, VC. So once again, I want you to go on Google.
But he said objective,
Google.com.
not factual.
I
He
said
said objective,
objective.
not factual.
See,
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
You're
just play it back.
Abaddon,
Play it back.
Abaddon,
Play it
I know
back.
you've been
Hold up,
salty
VC,
lately. I know you've been
VC,
salty
shut up for a
lately.
second.
I'm mad. See, salty, Abaddon. Abaddon on one.
Wait a minute, he didn't say he was being
said
factual.
salt.
He said
No,
he's
he
being
did.
objective.
Objective.
He did.
Salt.
He said
I gotta
fact.
say
He said it's a
factual.
fact. He said
Both
it's a
Well, he
fact.
said facts and
To what OJ
Not a
was
soup in
saying.
this pot.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
said
think-
fact.
You're stirring it, Abaddon. You're stirring it.
said
You're having
fact.
fun.
The
Like a little
N60
bee stirring the pot.
The N64 versus the GameCube is one of the most legendary one-sided thrashings that I've ever seen.
It's one-sided thrashing.
One-sided
Like,
thrashings.
yo,
N64 people are on their last banjo and
But you
kazooie
know what, though?
legs, trying to
But-
defend
but-
this,
but-
trying to defend this 20
you know
frames
what,
per
though?
second system over the GameCube
know what,
superior
though?
library.
Now you see, if I wanted to be petty, I could say VC only waited to say this when you was around when he had backup.
What? I was gonna say regardless.
Listen, the N64 doesn't have enough fans.
I'm playing with you.
I
I'm playing
know.
with you.
It doesn't have
I'm
enough
playing
fans
with
for
you.
your backup, bruh.
If we go off Baron's argument, though, I want to know what everybody's take is. If we go off Baron's argument,
Baron's argument is the top 10 games are better than every.
Yeah,
Double
say top
07
10 or
wrestling
top five.
games. That's his
Wrestling,
thing.
wrestling.
Yeah.
But in
Listen-
your
listen,
opinion,
though.
the top fives versus each other, which is the
N64
better
could beat
console?
the top 5 of the GameCube. If you're going top 5, yeah, because of status.
I think it's pretty close.
yeah, if it's
Xbox
Guys,
top
360
5,
is pretty good.
If you make this a battle of top 5, then you got some of the best games made of all time.
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. If you go top
But
5,
Ocarina of
Baron's
Time
in.
is
Hold
on
on.
the
Baron's in.
GameCube.
you're
Okay.
right. But they're talking about single. They're not talking about like re-release. They're talking about
Like,
when it
yeah,
launched,
you-
But what happened to library?
No, he's talking about the top 5 when they launch.
Top 5. Top 5.
All right. So that's totally different from library then. Just top 5 from their launch. You're saying different conversation. Different conversation.
Yeah, different conversation. I agree. Different conversation.
That is a different conversation altogether. I would say the games that Shadow Fox just showed. I would say, and this is me being objective. You say this is me removing my own personal opinion. Okay. I'll put Soul Calibur up there before Phantasy Star Online because Phantasy Star Online is more of a cult classic in my personal opinion. Well, that's more of a niche fan.
Which one's better than he was just
in terms of library.
No, I was just saying that those games ain't nothing close like that on N64.
Not even
nothing. You're absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
And this is a cult classic, but it's a shooter, and it's.
To me, GameCube it was the age of discovery for Nintendo. They're like, hey, we're going to make a powerful system that does different, we're going to try different things. I mean, you saw stuff like, you have the Metal Gear Solid remake on there. So let's get Metal Gear. Let's get stuff like you said, the Piano 3. Let's get stuff like Phantasy Star Online. Let's make Eternal Darkness. Let's get that popping. You know what I'm saying? Let's get Pikmin, Chibi Robo. You have these weird.
Don't forget, you're forgetting Crystal Chronicles as well.
Yeah,
hold on. The critical part of this was the licensing fees were significantly cheaper. That was the other thing. That's why a lot of the third parties came over. So they're like, look, all the excuses are gone. We got the disc here. If the disc isn't big enough for you, make 2 discs or make it dual layered.
Yeah.
Go from there.
Yeah. And then that's what I love about the GameCube. They really harnessed the power of the next generation system to do great things, to make a game like Chibi Robo or to make a game like Pikmin, which I don't think Pikmin could be possible in an acceptable frame rate on the N64 normally.
If you don't stop talking about Chibi Robo like it's some amazing masterpiece.
I didn't say that. What I said is that they used the power of the GameCube to make innovative and new types of games, like whether it was like
Chibi Robo was garbage.
Eternal Darkness. The original Chibi Robo was not garbage.
I agree, Baron, but what do you think of
the original Chibi Robo? Was not. Wait a minute. Time out. The original Chibi Robo was not garbage. The ones after that, kind of garbage, but the original was kind of garbage.
No, Animal Crossing on the N64 had to be online because there was no system clock.
You remember Custom Robo? Garbage. Chibi Robo. Garbage.
Now you're just trolling.
Everything. The original Chibi Robo is kind of iffy. It's wishy-washy. It's not the best game out there on the GameCube. There's at least 100 games better.
On my Chibi Robo.
I know there's more games, but what I'm saying is that Nintendo decided to get creative in that GameCube era, like with some of the new IPs, and there was a vast library of creative and different styles of games.
They did a good job with Pikmin.
Metroid Prime. They reinvented Metroid Prime. They made Pikmin. Eternal Darkness. I mean, there was variety.
Wait a minute.
Donkey Konga. There's also some weird
Dance Revolution Mario mix. Gotta beat Waluigi.
I'll give Metroid Prime its credit.
Bro, what topic is this?
We were just trolling from the beginning.
But we did talk from your angle though. So we talked top 5. And it's super fucking close. If you do top 5.
Hey, there's nothing close about it. N64 stomps a mud hole. Stone Cold Steve Austin mud hole.
Smash Melee is in the top 5 of the GameCube.
That is not correct.
What would be in your top 5? Would a wrestling game be in your top 5?
In 64?
Mm-hmm.
That's hard to put a wrestling game in there. But with me, I would put
wrestling is what puts it over though.
Yeah.
Not really, because when we got Ocarina of Time and Perfect Dark and GoldenEye and Conker's Bad Fur and all them titles like that. It's
the same 3 games.
Same.
I'm not saying the same 3 games.
Same game.
You said Chibi Robo like 50 times over the last 5 days. Like, come on now.
That's actually the first time that I mentioned that.
No, it's not. You said it plenty of times.
I'm with them deep cuts like Mischief Makers.
I mentioned
Santiago, they don't want to hear that.
Yo, Mischief Makers.
Resident Evil 4 is the game that just says, all right, man, it's over. That's the game that says it's over.
He asked me top 5, so I have to go down to the best ones first.
If I did top 5, Chibi Robo wouldn't be part of it.
But I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking
it's hard to put a wrestling game at number 5 because it was so much.
Be in my top 10 on N64.
Top 10, yes, but you gotta say you got Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, Kart 64, GoldenEye 007, Perfect Dark, Smash Brothers, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Majora's Mask. It's like, come on, bro.
Better than Mario Double Dash.
What does that have to do with top 5 for 64?
Because Double Dash would be in the top 5 for GameCube, and then if you compare the
what
two,
does that have to do with top 5 for 64?
Not a comparison. He's just put in the top 5.
You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying, Shadow? It's like then you get into Star Fox 64, Donkey Kong 64, Diddy Kong Racing, Banjo Kazooie. It's like it's kind of hard to put a wrestling game in there, but I would put one in there because I'm me. You know,
WCW versus NWO Revenge. I'd put that. That'd be like my favorite.
To me that would be the one for me because that was the first one I think that had the formula perfect from
Anyway, let's go ahead and let's get into intros. We already ranted about this. Maybe we can do it. We already ranted about this for way too long.
OJ, we still got to put that official debate card together, man.
I'm ready for the debate card.
But the thing is,
crushed.
I'm not gonna get crushed because we're gonna make this a most interactive debate ever.
Interactive, okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm down. You're gonna get crushed by the total.
I only want this. The winner can only be decided by vote. That's the only fair way. I'm not gonna get crushed.
Have you seen the comment section?
I have intelligent gamers like Destiny who knows the 64 is better than the GameCube. You know what I mean?
Destiny is very intelligent, and Destiny's awesome. It's great to see Destiny here, but at the same time, Destiny was
on the spot. As she comes in,
Destiny was capping for the Virtual Boy the other day. Okay, so let me just.
But you capping for Chibi Robo. Nobody gave a damn about that game.
I'd rather play Chibi Robo than the whole library of the Virtual Boy
on GameCube. How many copies this hold? Nobody cared a damn about that game, so stop playing.
Mischief Makers didn't sell nothing. That's a good game.
Chibi Robo sold over 1 million. It sold like 2 or 3 million. So
you need to pull that up and show me that because I doubt you're pushing it to almost some 2 million.
It sold over 1 million. That's for sure.
I need the documents on that. I need the receipts on that one.
Because then they wouldn't have made more. If it was a flop, then they would have never made more of them.
Well, a lot of games got sequels that I don't know how they got sequels too.
Not really.
Anyway,
let's go and do the intro. Let's do the intros. VC, my man, how you doing today?
Doing all right. Playing a lot of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Plan to have a review of that coming soon. I've been dropping a lot of videos and live streams throughout the week, so I've been pretty busy, very busy during what we're going through right now. So
CV pandemic.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Aside from that, things been pretty good. Pretty good. I did have a video of like my favorite indie games on the Switch right now, so that was like the fun thing I did this week.
Nice. And Avedon, how you doing today, man? My man.
What's going on, y'all? Thanks for having me on. Playing Final Fantasy VII right now because I actually want to be. And been an enjoyable game.
Yeah, nice.
For the most part.
Good stuff. And Shadow Fox is also here as well. What's up, Shadow Fox?
What's going on? Nothing much here. Been playing The Messenger and being a family man. I got to be like guy apparently. So that's all I've been doing for the most part. And I'll have videos up soon at some point, I guess.
All right. And then we also have Destiny joining us today. Destiny, how are you doing today?
Lord.
You got Destiny's robot. Destiny, you bought a robot? Cool.
Whoa.
Unicron has blessed you.
Transformers.
Destiny Transformer robot. Unplug your headset and plug it back in, Destiny.
Good God, it's brutal.
From
Optimus Destiny. Ultron. Good God. That was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, they're saying robot Destiny.
So we'll see if Destiny can fix her mic a little bit so you guys can enjoy her awesome voice. So next up, we have our guest for today. What? Go ahead, Destiny. Did you try? Is it fixed? Try it again. She doesn't want to speak into the mic. And we have Chris Levi here, our guest. Chris Levi, how you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good to have you here, man. Nice, good to have you here. First time on the cast, so should be pretty fun. As you can already kind of see, we're just kind of all over the place. But we're gonna start off first. I think since Baron's here,
I don't get no intro. Huh?
No, you don't get a damn intro. No, I'm joking. Damn N64 lover.
Normie.
You know what I mean? This is suppression of N64 gamers, and this is ridiculous.
You rocking the wrong.
I'm sorry, Baron. You weren't moving at the same frame rate as everybody else. My bad. I was gonna introduce you a little bit later. You know how those N64 games run. Baron, how you doing tonight, my man?
And I'm doing all right, man.
You doing all right? All right, dude. All right, sounds good.
Mine
right.
got too much dust on it, but you know, it's.
I had dust on mine when I actually played it. There was dust on mine.
Mine never has dust. I play it often.
That is mandatory.
Well, for DK64, it's mandatory.
Yeah, you need that for that.
Yeah, it came with it, which was awesome. That's how I got mine.
Perfect Dark too.
Yeah. Well, Perfect Dark it wasn't mandatory, but if you had it, it was a lot better.
You couldn't play. There were like a bunch of maps and stuff you couldn't do.
Yeah.
Test.
Well, you talking about the expansion pack?
Mm-hmm.
It was a very robotic test. If I'm
Yeah, it was
being honest.
a little robotic on that Destiny.
Little robotic.
Yeah,
It was definitely better, but it was
better, but a little bit robotic.
You might have to go to Discord settings, probably.
Yeah, or it's probably just like a unplug the mic and plug it back in situation. Maybe get out of the stream, then come back in. That's maybe what I'm thinking. But yeah, it's still a little robotic, says the chat. Barber says, "I'll donate $30 for Baron to leave." Baron, can you Barber? Can you donate the money, then Baron leave, then come right back in? Does that work too?
Who wrote that?
They didn't say how long you had to leave.
Yeah, they didn't say how long you have to leave. So Baron, leave and then come back. No, I'm joking.
No, who said that?
And they didn't say how many people donated to. So
Lord.
Still Galvatron. Are you using the Mac, Destiny?
Yes.
You are? Okay, so that's an issue where if your CPU cycles get high, it does that to you. So you'll have to kind of unplug your mic and then plug it back up until it catches up, unfortunately. I don't know what's wrong with Mac OS. I don't know why it does that.
Yeah,
But
PCs are...
I'm literally doing this on my PC, and it's the only thing I do on my PC.
That's good.
Wait, what mic are you using?
It's not the mic, it's Mac OS itself.
What about now?
It's still...
Man, she sound like the female Terminator. Lord, that is crazy.
It still sounds like when somebody when you're getting a massage, they're chopping your back.
Somebody says you sound like Soundwave instead of the Galvatron. and Mac OS is not horrible. All my videos are cut in Final Cut, so no, there's no way. No. And unfortunately, seeing Windows on a day-to-day basis as a profession, I don't recommend it to anybody.
They're calling you T-Pain in the chat.
You see,
you can play games on it.
Buy you a drink.
Okay.
T-Pain over
See,
the robot voice.
Shadow Fox. My only issue with Mac is some compatibility issues, but I like how Windows you can really optimize it. You have to spend a lot. You have to spend a lot on Windows to make it like worthwhile.
Yeah, you get a Mac Pro out of the box, everything works. But you got to pay that premium price or whatever. Or if you know what you're doing, don't buy RAM from Apple. Don't buy any upgrades from Apple, and then you upgrade it yourself later on, and you don't spend as much money. You'll spend just as much as you would building a PC with the same specs.
That's why, yeah.
Like a lot of people, like the new Mac Pro that just came out, they're like, "Oh, well, it's $35,000." I'm like, "Yeah, but if you built it yourself, you'd be spending just as much because the CPU itself is $7,500."
Did you just say $35,000?
Yes.
3,500.
You mean 3,000?
No, 35,000 because the RAM sticks, they're like 1,200 a piece.
Wait, $35,000 for a Mac?
Wait for
yes, for 768 gigs of RAM. And the 28 core processor.
35,000.
Oh, 28. Oh,
yes.
28. Oh, you said 28 cores. That's why it's 28 cores.
And that's 35 grand.
I'm sorry.
If you got
no wonder. No wonder. You have all those cores.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Who would spend that type of money on a damn
Elon Musk?
Elon Musk. Apparently, what's the other guy? Marquise or whatever his name is, because that's his entire channel is dedicated to it. Probably iJustine. You know.
Oh
whoever gets paid to
damn!
do it.
Oh damn, Gina.
Yeah. It'll be me as soon as the CPU price goes down, because I'll buy the base and then I'll put my own 28 core in there, just like I did for 2009.
Hey, this is not gaming related, but did you see Von Miller got the Rona?
Yeah,
yeah,
but he'll be fine.
Yeah,
he has asthma though. That's the difference.
He'll be fine though. He's still an athlete with a great immune system though.
Well, I was about to say, hopefully he can pay for a real good healthcare plan.
Oh yeah, he.
Oh yeah,
did you guys remember his contract that he got?
The Broncos gonna pay for it.
The Broncos gonna. He got 100. I think he got like 100. At the time, it was the biggest contract in the NFL. It was like 109 million or 110 million, and it was like 70 million guaranteed. Dude's set for his kids are set if they spend their money.
I'm not worried about him. I'm just I'm worried about the NFL season now because it's the second player to test positive for the Rona.
There was a Rams player, right? There was a Rams player.
There was a Chargers. It was a Chargers player too.
Oh, okay, yeah, Chargers. So there's been more. Yeah, I mean the season might.
I'm pretty sure there's more. They just won't.
The season might be in jeopardy. I mean, I think that they're gonna do whatever they can because NFL is too much of a moneymaker. Like that is way too big of a moneymaker for that to be shut down. Like XFL, obviously, and other stuff, okay, but the NFL, bro, that's like 20% of the economy for those.
I think some heads rolled in March because we didn't have the NCAA and Vegas is big on that. Exploiting kids. I'm pretty sure some people got assassinated over that one.
Exploiting kids for their own benefit. Yeah, that's what I was actually happy about. I was sad for the kids, but I was like, yeah, that's what you guys get. And did you guys hear about the new program that's coming from the NBA, the G League? Elite prospects from high school get $500,000
straight into G League.
Yeah, straight into G League. You get $500,000. You get a full scholarship. So if you want classes, you can take them online. You get life skill lessons and all this stuff. If you go,
that's good.
Elite high school, like LeBron James type, Kobe Bryant.
That's wild.
That's more than you make playing 10 seasons on G League, but okay.
Do I still sound robotic?
Hey,
no,
yeah.
Great.
Nice. Nice, Destiny.
We finally ridded the Rona of your mic.
Yeah.
Destiny, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right, as good as we can do in the situation. I've been addicted to Animal Crossing and.
All right, I'm about to go. About to bounce. Yeah.
I'm gonna head out.
Look, you can't hate on Animal Forest. Animal Forest plus.
Lord.
Animal Crossing is great, man. Stop hating.
Well, I'm glad the hype died down a lot.
But it didn't.
It did actually.
It did, man.
No, it's still.
It's still
every other
buying out.
Animal Crossing post.
Not only that, but did you, Baron? We're about a month away from Animal. You know how much Animal Crossing sold in Japan for the past week?
I don't care about what it's sold in Japan. I want to know the American numbers.
Animal Crossing is the biggest game to come from Nintendo in 2020. I'm saying it again. It's the biggest
Animal
game.
Crossing.
Okay, VC, that's nice.
You're gonna be blown away by the American.
I'm kind of disappointed because we ain't got no word on the U.S. sales.
You're gonna get the U.S. sales in May. I think it's about May 7th. You're gonna get the U.S. sales, and Baron, I'm telling you, you're gonna be either angry or you're gonna be blown away.
It's gonna almost beat Smash, if not beat it in like a few weeks.
It's not. No. If it was close to Smash, they would have announced it already. They would announce it already.
I'm telling you,
yes, they would have.
Baron,
we talking bro. We talking about 10 million or more. They would have announced that already.
Baron, I'm telling you right, Baron, I'm telling you right now.
This would have they not announced a game sold 10 million in less than a month. Like
they gave us a mini direct instead of a real direct because of the real situation going on right now. I'm telling you right now,
they would have been put out a press release if that was the case.
Let me tell you because I have some stuff.
Exactly, TH3. It's sold 15. Immediate lock.
Already in Japan. Think about this. You know how American sales are usually 2.5 to 3 times greater for pretty much every single game.
It depends on what game it is.
It's any of the big games, whether it's Zelda or anything like that. The game is literally about to pass up Pokemon Sword and Shield.
That's already insane. That's insane.
In Japan, I don't so.
America is like 10 times the size of Japan.
But America is not Japan.
I know, but in terms of what we buy, we always buy way more because there's way more systems.
He's talking about
it depends on what game it is.
Any big first-party game, it always sells.
Look, I'm putting you like this.
Okay,
Animal Crossing probably sold about 7 million copies. That's why.
You are absolutely 7 million. You are going to be so shocked. Okay, let's make a bet, Baron. All right.
So y'all really believe that if it even got close or eclipsed Pokemon Sword and Shield or Smash, they wouldn't put out a press release?
They're going.
They're not doing it. They're not doing it because of obvious reasons.
Exactly.
No, that ain't got nothing. No, the Rona has nothing to do with that. Putting out a press release.
Well, stop literally
nothing.
Here's the thing. We're gonna wait. May 7th is coming. May 7th is coming, and when you see the first,
May 7th, that's not gonna be the day of the MPD.
That's gonna be the day of when Nintendo announces how much the game is sold. May 7th.
Oh wait, don't they have their briefing on the?
It got on the first. It got delayed. So
to the 7th now.
Because of the situation.
Yeah, because of the situation, it got delayed. When they announced
that has nothing with a press release.
It does, my God.
No,
that's not the same thing.
He's not saying a press release.
The financial report is not the same thing as a press release. All right, go ahead. I know what OJ's talking about.
They're going to announce it, and then you're going to be wrong. So
you're going to see the numbers are going to be way above on that day.
Much higher.
That's what he's saying.
Because you're going to see.
I'm trying to tell you, it ain't beat Pokemon or Smash.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's saying you're wrong in the chat once again, Baron.
I don't give a damn if they saying I'm wrong. They can just guess what? Guess what's going to end up happening? Guess what I'm gonna say a few days from now on that day? I'm gonna say
wrong.
Who spoke the gospel? I gotta say all the damn time.
Eddie, what if you're wrong?
I end up saying that multiple times a year, and that's what I'm going to say.
I'm curious. What if
I'm not going to be wrong.
Yeah,
y'all act like 7 million is bad. How is 7 million bad?
It's not bad. It's not bad. But I'm just asking.
You mean 7 million?
It's not bad, but it's already above 7 million.
Do you mean 7 million total for everywhere?
That's what
Japan is at 3.5 or 4 right now.
3.3.
They have 4.
3.3 physical, but we don't know the digital sales in Japan, so it's probably like at somewhere around.
Okay, we'll say 4.
4 million, yeah.
Okay, I'll give it 7 to 8. I don't see the U.S.
Baron, you're crazy.
I'm not crazy. I'm being realistic out here.
Yeah,
Baron, hold on, time out. But Baron,
y'all not being realistic.
But Baron.
All right, Abaddon, can you turn on the screen to give him the L?
Hold on, Baron. I'm just gonna remind you of something.
Give L without sales report.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we can't give him the L yet.
How you gonna give an L without a sales report?
Y'all give me L.
But Baron, let me just gonna remind you of something.
Okay.
Pokemon Sword and Shield. You sounded very similar to this during Pokemon Sword and Shield.
No, I didn't. No, I did not.
Even I said it was going to sell.
I said y'all should not buy this. That's what my gripe was, and I knew they was going to buy it.
All right, we'll see.
Okay, well, listen. Here's the thing, guys. With Animal Crossing, it sold 3.5 million, and let's just say 4 million. Baron is literally saying here that the rest of the world, which the population and the amount of Switches, that's completely dwarfs the amount in Japan. Somehow it sold more of a revenue share, or more of a share of the game in Japan than the rest of the world. That's what Baron's saying. So it sold sold 4 million in Japan by itself, but then only 3 million in the rest of the world. That's ridiculous.
We've seen weird situations like that before, bro.
That's an L.
Whatever.
That's a L. That's a super
L. That's exactly what I was saying.
So when the report
that's the biggest L. That's the biggest L that I've ever seen. This man said it sold 3 million in the rest of the world. That's an L.
So what we gonna put on this? Because since y'all so
what you want to put on it, bro?
What you want to put on this? This is ridiculous. Like,
how much you want to put on it, bro?
100. It's gonna be.
I don't want your money
million.
because everybody gets stimulus checks and unemployment, so nobody needs money right now.
What you want to put on this, bro?
More tangible. I want something more tangible.
Over 7 million. It's gonna be over. You know what I mean? 100.
I want something more tangible than money.
What you want, bro?
Tangible.
Yeah.
How about a video?
What are you gonna do that's tangible?
How about a video?
All right, I want a video from OJ explaining why the N64 is greater than a GameCube.
Okay.
Oh God.
And what about if you lose?
And if I lose, I don't know.
It was all $100 because he said still checks don't matter.
Oh wow!
So number one is the first.
You get the $1,200 handout, and you still want my money? Come on.
Hey! Not all of us are getting that handout. Not all of us are eligible.
Oh my gosh, yo, Baron, if you're wrong, if you're right, I will make. If it sold only 7 million total, in terms of.
I know. If it did not outsell Pokemon Sword and Shield, it's not like
that wasn't the.
No.
Come on, man. Moving the goalpost.
That's the bet I want because
either
you believe it outsold it or you don't. Which one is it?
No, I said eventually it'll outsell it. I don't think it's outsold right now at this point. Eventually it'll outsell it.
So why are y'all arguing with me?
Because you said that it only sold 7 million.
It has the chance to.
When they announce it, it will not be outselling Pokemon Sword and Shield and Smash.
It's going to have more than 13 million.
No, I don't think because it doesn't have enough time on the market. It'll eventually outsell it. But
so why did y'all argue with me all this time for? It's outselling.
You said it only sold 7 million. Because you said 7 million.
It sold 7 million.
I don't think 7 million is
Crossing.
Wait, go ahead.
You said what?
What's your beef with Animal Crossing?
Because it's boring as whack as hell. That's why.
Have you ever played it?
Fam.
I played that garbage on GameCube. I'm not ever playing it again.
A new game, so you're.
I'm never playing it again.
So let's go over some. Destiny speaking the truth. Destiny, thank you for that truth bomb. Let's go.
I didn't even hear what she said. What she said?
She said, "Did you play it?" And then you said, "No."
No, I said on GameCube I played that garbage.
It's not the same game, and that's why the opinion.
I don't care. It looks
from what I was
just as whack as it looked back then.
On GameCube though, that's what I'm saying.
So it's like whatever. I mean, look, Y'all can have fun doing the most boring, mundane shit in real life, in fantasy life, in the video game. Y'all can have fun doing it. I'm not doing it.
Because
I'm not doing it. Okay, I can do boring shit in real life.
We're not going to sit here and turn this into a Baron versus Baron fights. This man Baron is like,
I ain't doing it.
This man
I'm
Baron
not bolting over no pole, over no little ass creek. I'm not planting no damn trees. I'm not building. I ain't building no whack ass island.
Oh God!
With some fake ass palm trees.
Great,
I'm not doing it.
Gray Tech with the $5 donation says,
"Whack, that's on you."
Great Tech with the that's I love that.
Hold on, Baron, you beat Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I beat Breath of the Wild. I did it twice.
You built the island in that game too, didn't you?
No,
I ain't built an island. I explored
guys.
island.
Great Tech donated $5. Thank you, Great Tech, for the 5. He says, "Happy belated B-Day, OJ."
I became a divine beast in that game.
All right, Baron. Thank you for the
I
5.
fought the
Great
Calamity
Tech.
Ganon. I ain't doing none of that in no damn Animal Crossing.
Been super busy and wasn't able to get you sooner. Thank you. Decepticon donated $2, some maple syrup dollars, and says, "Real argument should be PS2 versus GameCube." Oh yeah, that's
oh, that's not
PS2 has a bigger library though. So
PS2
demolishes.
Like that's a fact. That's a fact. Like I love the
fighting game.
All right, hold on, OJ. Before you read that, I think somebody gave a good part to the bet. If I'm wrong, I will buy Animal Crossing and play it.
But you're gonna just play it for a few hours. Like
pre-order it now.
No, I'll finish. Well, how long does it take to beat? Oh, how do you
don't beat it? You don't beat it.
Okay, how many hours is satisfactory?
80.
80?
I'm not even kidding.
I'm not you, VC. What the hell?
I don't care. I don't care.
100 hours is something I don't like.
It takes you that long to reach like the credits at least.
I don't care about that. Who cares?
80?
PsychoPie donated 10 maple syrup. PsychoPie donated 10 maple syrup dollars.
You gotta do it if you lose the bet,
I'm not
Baron.
doing all that. No, I'm not doing all that.
Bro,
PsychoPie donated 10 maple syrup dollars. Says, question for Shadow Fox. Sorry for being off topic, but what's a Shadow Fox profession? No, we're not asking personal questions like that. Eric P donated $2. It says either way.
I mean, I can tell him.
Huh? Okay,
I can tell him.
If you're okay, go ahead and tell him. Go ahead.
Enterprise information security for a certain agency.
There you go. We got to so
CIA.
So there's that. Eric P donated 2 and says either way, love y'all. So he's talking about like the N64 versus GameCube. Barber donated $5. Says Baron sounds like a little boy who dies in a bet movie. Okay, I don't know what does that mean?
What does that even mean?
I don't know. Gamer Bro with the follow, and also Big Randall with the Elite Ninja sponsorship. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you for sponsoring as well, man. So I appreciate that. Big Randall became a member, so thank you for becoming a member. All right, so let's go and get into the topics because we've spent how long have we spent?
40 minutes on this
doing
garbage.
Nothing. This
40
podcast
minutes
sucks.
on the intro.
Listen,
That's why Destiny doesn't show up every single time.
Great
This podcast
podcast. You just ramble and talk.
OJ, do you
People
not
say all the
see
time
we got
that they love
almost?
it.
Do you not see for 30 minutes? We got almost 300 people in here. We got 85 likes.
The thing is, that's because Destiny's here tonight. If we did it, it'd be back to the normal numbers. And we got Chris here too. That's not saying anything.
I think people really like. I think people really like that debate though. That 64.
Oh, they do.
People like the
That's
energy.
since you split it out.
People like the energy. This is
because we even had a debate on the Spawncast, and I was like surprised when John was like, "Oh, we can talk about N64 versus GameCube." I was like, "What? Oh, wow!" On the Spawncast too. Like, damn.
Let's open it up.
Like, I was like, "Man, John out here putting it on the Spawncast. Okay, let's go." So
PS2 versus GameCube is not fair though.
PS2
obviously is better on hardware, but games, man.
That's a nice
game library included.
RPGs, fighting games.
GameCube,
yeah, PS2. I mean, GameCube. Like I said, if you did a top 10, GameCube would have a chance, right? Like if you did like a top 10 or top 15. But if you do like an overall library, PS2.
It's the same problem with GameCube versus N64.
Exactly.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
Because
GameCube don't have stuff that's equivalent to Grand Theft Auto 3 and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and stuff. Like, come on now, it's not even close.
Devil May Cry,
Resident Evil 4,
Metal Gear Solid 3.
Wait,
not even close, bro.
Metal Gear Solid is as good as Grand Theft Auto?
No, but we have Metal Gear Solid 3 on the PS2.
On PS2, it's like it's not
the Metal Gear Solid 3 is arguably one of the best.
I think Twin Snakes is better than
Twin Snakes is pretty good.
Twin Snakes but they go hand in, but then you say those two cancel each other out, and then you got Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas. And it's like,
are you guys talking about like top 10?
We talking about just PS.
Well, that's what's going to be the top 10 on PS2 though, because everybody plays those games.
I mean, no, the Grand Theft Auto is great on the it's fan. And now I don't like Grand Theft Auto as much as other people, but I'm just saying if you're talking like a top 10, the best top 10 games, and you stack them against it, yeah. I mean, I think GameCube has a better chance, like we were saying with the N64, than overall library. No, PS2 smokes it. You know?
Yeah.
But San Andreas is going to be on everybody's top 5 probably for PS2.
If you're talking like top 10, GameCube, but like. The thing about it is
I personally would put Vice City over San Andreas.
PS2 has Resident Evil 4 as well, so
yeah, kinda.
Speaking of Metal Gear Solid,
speaking of Metal Gear Solid, who used to be directed by Kojima, it seems like we're finally going to get into the actual topics. It seems like Death Stranding maybe has a little bit of issues here. There's been a rumor that's been going around that Death Stranding did not make enough money. In terms of the sales were disappointing, and that might have basically made it to where Sony's not going to work with Kojima anymore. This is a rumor, but it's just something that is kind of like, put out there. We know that Death Stranding did fall off the sales charts pretty quickly after it came out. It didn't take very long for it to just vanish, make a disappearing act. So I wanted to get you guys' thoughts. Death Stranding. I mean, obviously, like I said, this is a rumor, but at the same time, like I knew the game wasn't selling well because. The game isn't. I don't think it's that great personally, but it is what it is there. But what do you guys think about this? Who wants to take the first crack at it?
Baron, please.
Oh, I mean, I'll destroy it real quick.
Yes.
I mean, what was y'all expecting? I mean, it didn't even debut in the top 5 in the month it came out in November last year. December came around, it was nowhere to be seen on the top sales charts. Of course, we know it didn't make money. I was wondering if they was going to just hide it and just sweep it under the rug, but I guess they didn't want to hide it anymore. So, all I got to say is Konami was right. Everybody that bashed Konami for all those years thinking they was the bad guy, Kojima was the bad guy. Because now we see where he doesn't have any restrictions and he's let out the cage, what kind of garbage he will give you. So y'all need to put his ass back on the chain and the chain and ball and put some restrictions around him. It's just that simple.
Some BDSM, put him in a chain.
Konami's still gonna be on my S list because I need my Gradius, man. Like it needs to be everywhere.
That franchise never coming back.
Oh yeah,
that franchise got yeeted into space like that dude from on
Dude
JoJo
has a better chance
2.
of coming back.
What's his name? One of them pillar men got yeeted into space.
Yeah. Stage left.
That's never coming back.
It's on to the enders too, man. Like, what are y'all doing?
I'll make an air hockey table with Gradius air hockey at the pachinko boards or something.
Well, that's all Konami's known for now is Yu-Gi-Oh! Honestly, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, it's what they're known for now, hands down. They keep it
They're
going.
Turning into old Nintendos.
Practically.
Okay, well, Death Stranding. Does anybody else want to take a crack at Death Stranding? I mean, I'll
just say the title is a lot of foreshadowing. That's all I'll say about that.
It's barely around with a strand of longevity, I guess.
You know what?
They made an entire game a side quest in Astral Chain.
What in terms of the
Astral Chain side quest is an entire game.
Of Death Stranding?
Basically,
yes. A side quest in Xenoblade Chronicles X is an entire game.
Okay. Oh, definitely.
Wait, who played that? Who here played Death Stranding?
I have watched many hours, and
I played it off of a Redbox disc.
I mean, did you really have to play it? You just need to watch it. Honestly.
I had to give it 10 hours at least.
I was gonna play this because I wanted to have the feeling, the Superman 64. I have to know myself, but no, I think I'm gonna save myself from the bullet on this one.
Yeah. I mean, since nobody really played it, but I mean, I played the game, and I think that the problem with the game is exactly what Baron said. Is like you don't put a little bit of a leash on Kojima, he goes crazy. He sits there and hires anybody. Like you give him a blank check, like Sony gave him. He hires, what's his name, Walking Dead dude. He just spends lavishly on actors. He says this is the type of stuff that he's been doing, right? Metal Gear Solid 5. This dude yeets David Hayter for like literally no reason. Like and then at the time, what was the biggest show that was out? 24. So he goes and gets the guy from 24 for like and David Hayter's like, bro, Like,
I've been doing this for
I thought we
years.
were cool, you know? He was really hurt by that. He was really hurt. He just got yeeted for no reason. I mean, this is what he does. You give him a blank check. He just sits there and spends on the most expensive and the most, like, you can't be doing, this guy can't be giving blank checks like this. That's why some of the best games that Kojima's made are the portable games. When they actually put a leash on him, they say, hey, look, you got a limited budget. Make something. And they're all gameplay heavy. Like, if you play Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops.
Did he make Boktai?
Huh? He did make Boktai.
Did he make Boktai?
He did.
Who made?
That was him.
See, and that's some good stuff right there.
Yeah, when he's on his portable games are some of the best games because he's not thinking about, oh, I need to sit here and get into Hollywood. That's my biggest problem with Kojima. He's a great game director. He really is great, but he wants to get into Hollywood, and it's been showing that he just wants to get into Hollywood. That's his second act. He wants to make movies at some point. He wants to be in that crew. He wants to be invited to those parties, you know, and all that stuff. And it's pretty clear. Because, like, this game, Death Stranding, it's so full of Hollywood talent and all that, and devoid of real gameplay mechanics. That
I feel sorry for anyone who bought the game for $60 because it was on sale the other day for $30.
Oh my god!
I bought the game for $60,
and so I saw
Redbox
hours of the gameplay, and the story really, I don't. Maybe it just picks up really, really slow, but.
Well, not 10 hours in, that's for sure.
It takes about 20 to 30 hours to get into the game, really.
Didn't he say you got to get 50% through the game to really understand?
You might not even understand it, even 50%.
Hey, that may be you for Animal Crossing, Baron.
So I feel like I need to play this just to see how it.
Oh, I understand what it is. It's just I don't participate in lame ass activities. That's all.
Hey, well, maybe you just don't like collecting bells, collecting them checks.
You don't know what it's like to owe Tom Nook.
Yeah. You don't know the struggle.
And he starts off the rip like mortgage. Let's go.
I think Animal Crossing teaches you good life lessons, like to save your money and to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't need a video game to teach me no damn life lesson.
Value. Like it can teach you to be a better designer.
I'd be damn if I have
loopholes
a landlord that looked like Tom Nook running me. Ain't happening. Period.
All right, so let's go to move on to the next topic. Or, unless Chris, did you have anything to say on Death Stranding? Did you play the game?
I didn't play the game. I was gonna play it, but after seeing the game leaders where people stream it, I just felt like it wasn't my type of game. It didn't appeal to enough wide of an audience to sell more. You know, because I feel like yes, when he was with Konami, he had more of strengths on him. Hey, you got this budget, so go wild with that budget, but we will not go outside of that. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will say one thing too. So some of the people that I watched, like I watched the live play without anybody there, and then I watched a couple of people streaming with them on cam, and it looked a lot like Stockholm Syndrome. Like they're under duress playing this game, and they're like, they're like, I gotta play through it. I'm not gonna say anything bad. I'm just gonna keep on. And
that's how a few chapters feel in Final Fantasy VII Remake.
No, there's definitely people.
I'm kidding. I wanted to know, but I haven't.
I watched Click's Let's Play. Miss Click did she streamed the whole game, and I think she liked it. So there are people who generally like the game. I think it's one of those. It's like really like you have like you love it or you hate it, you know, type of thing. Yeah. You know, so I think it's kind of like one of those games. But my problem is that. The biggest issue that I have is that this is not near Kojima's level. Like, this is nowhere near. Like, if this was Zelda, or if this was, like, if another creator that had, like, Anuma-san created a game this much inferior to what his previous work was, people would definitely say, yo, man, there's a problem here. Is it a bad game overall? Like, is the game, like, completely trash? Like, controls don't work and all that? No. But is the game, like, anywhere near as good as what Kojima's done? Absolutely not. And that's the biggest issue that I have.
Metal Gear Solid, Snake Eater, like, come on.
Metal Gear Solid is ridiculously better than Death Stranding. Like, it's not even close. That's the problem I have. It's not even close.
And there's people out there who think Death Stranding is better than Metal Gear Solid, and I'm like, how? Like, what are you on?
There's no real person. There's no real person that actually, like, that must be a fake person. Must be a bot on the internet. There's no real person that actually
that's only Water Strong.
Is better than Metal Gear Solid like 3, Snake Eater, or like Twin Snakes, or like even when the original came out. Like the original was a revolution, man. Like the original PlayStation game. Like Death Stranding isn't on that. It's not on that level because Metal Gear had good gameplay. Death Stranding's gameplay is horrible.
Death Stranding is the best game of all time. I just drank the Salt and Water. Best game of all time. Salt and Water.
Metal Gear is so much better.
I got that good water, sponsored by Poland Spring. They gave me a bunch of coupons. So
Sony gonna sue you. You
can't drink enough of that. garbage game of the decade.
All right, so shall we move on? Shall we move on to the next thing here? This is the big thing here. I think a lot of you guys are gonna be interested in this. The PS5. We're getting reports out here that it's gonna be $500+ and it's gonna be supply constraint because of the CD epidemic that's going on. So $500. It's launching this year, but it's gonna be. We also heard that it's gonna be a worldwide launch. So there's even gonna be less units than what we thought. If it's going to be worldwide, that means everywhere. In Japan, Europe, everywhere with what's going on. And it's going to be $500+ because of the supply constraints on parts and what they need to do. So this isn't looking good. If it's $500+, I mean, people are going to buy it. It's going to sell out, quickly. But that's definitely not good for, most people probably aren't going to be able to get this system at launch or anywhere near the time of launch, until I think probably after March. They said that what the information is that they said that it's going to be around 5 to 6 million units by the end of March 2021. So that's not a lot of units, for the worldwide. For November, December, January, February, March, for 4 months.
Not a lot at all.
No, that's not a lot of units at all. So it's going to be severe supply constraint. And I know a lot of you guys are looking forward to the PS5. I know I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great system. I personally think it's going to be really good.
So I was looking for a Sharpie so I could color myself surprised, but
hopefully it's color.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys a question. What do you? I know Baron is definitely wanted to speak about this, but what are you guys' thoughts on this? I guess we can start. Chris, we can start at the top. Chris, what do you think about this $500 PS5? Is this something that you're interested in? What do you think about the supply constraints, all that?
Well, it's $500. I knew it was going to be 400, 500, 600 for these systems coming out this year because of what they have packed in them and what they're already saying. It's already going to be $400 to make it, so they've got to make some money some way, and especially they got to make the money some way to supply constraints on them are going to be so low for not just a country but the whole world. A couple million. It's like, come on, Xbox can be over here like, hey, we don't got supply constraints here.
They might though. That's the thing.
They will.
They will. They might.
You don't know because they might, because you never know. Right now they're having supply constraints on getting a Switch.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the Switch is like crazy supply constraint right now.
Yeah, because I've seen people doing videos of, I'm getting all this stuff to make my own one. I'm like, wow. I'm like, y'all go have fun doing that.
Good luck.
Yeah, I think John covered that. Yeah, somebody made a.
I mean, you can build an entire Joy-Con out of the spare parts on AliExpress.
I'll just say something right now. If you make a Switch, that's ghetto as hell. It's cool, but it's also ghetto. You know good and well that Switch is gonna get up and walk away in the middle of the night, or it's gonna blow your house up, or it's gonna poison you. You can't trust a DIY Switch. Like, what kind of Tom Nookery is this?
Might as well jailbreak it.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
People are doing it.
Listen,
John showed a whole table of it.
Listen, the man's wanted to play Mario and Luigi. Okay,
Mario and Luigi.
Zero.
Want to play his? Listen, man. If he wants to make a game station, let him make a game station.
Yeah, they'll make that.
This man got Hotel Mario 3 as a launch title on his own.
I mean, that
was interactive software for the CDI that was quite okay.
This man's like, why does my Switch play like a Virtual Boy? Destiny might want one.
Oh, wow. Look here.
Got two colors.
But
Red Alarm was a good game. Please, let's not hate on it.
It's got red, black, and purple. Those are the colors.
I heard the Wario game on the Virtual Boy is good.
Yeah.
Really good.
It is.
Really good.
Well, I don't have a Virtual Boy, so
you really about to get us started, ain't you?
Oh man! So anybody, what else on this? So for these ghetto, somebody, how you gonna sit there and make a Switch?
Yeah, but I think the as I mentioned this before, but the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 are going to be seriously supply constrained if they even make it to market, because you got the most obvious thing hanging right now, and you got to imagine that they're already roundtabling this and saying, hey, look, should we even hold this L and try to release this if the majority of people at the time probably won't be able to purchase it, and if they do, they're not going to want to because other priorities exist. Also, that hurts supply constraints for the same obvious reasons. And then you have the fact that both of these manufacturers still have not placed the order. So mass quantities have not been made of these consoles yet. and that is unheard of for consoles that launch in the same year. And we're mid-April right now as we speak. So
Well,
it takes about a good 6 to 8 months to get these done and have quality control done.
Well, this report kind of remind me of somebody saying something similar to this.
Who was that?
Outside of Shadow Fox. I don't know. Somebody who always
did
speaks.
Destiny say that? Destiny, did you make a video on that?
No.
Oh.
Honestly, they should just wait. See the point.
Oh, that's deaf. That's deaf.
Like after
That's DOA if they
Sony
do
did
that.
that whole little presentation where they didn't show a damn, just talking insides, I was
Got a
already
controller.
there. It's like I'm PlayStation Nation, but you're not showing me anything. Then this controller comes out. I don't like how the controller looks. It's the PS5 is like backwards. I'm just like, I don't need it. There's a point to get it.
Aren't you hyped for
PlayStation
3D
4.
audio?
I'm hyped for 3D.
Aren't you hyped for the 3D audio, Destiny? 3D.
Oh, I got a Wii remote that does that, but go ahead.
I can't wait to hear. I can't wait for. I cannot wait for Aerith to be talking into my ear. Ooh, it's gonna be nice.
Who says she's gonna be talking? I'm not even sure.
Oh,
I'm not that far in the game yet, but I'm not sure.
You're that far into the game. Stop it.
Not that far.
Aerith, she's the beginning.
Well, no,
dude.
I'm saying what you were getting at when I was. Forget it. Continue.
Okay, VC was making a sexual joke.
No, that was not what I was doing.
Okay, what were you doing?
Let's not go there again.
Well, I'm not going to reference it because the reference I was going to make was
this will not
the
end
end
well.
of Final Fantasy.
Last time we went
Well,
there,
I'm
it
not
got
trying to
kinda-
explain at the
wrong
end
kind
the
of
game.
3D audio.
I just wanted Aerith to
Oh,
speak
you
in my
guys
ear.
are thinking something totally different.
Yeah,
I was talking about
I
the
just
game
wanted to
Final
hear
Fantasy
Aerith
7,
speaking in my ear when she whispers, because Aerith has a very nice, calming voice. That's all I was looking for.
I'm surprised you wouldn't say Madam M. That with the hand massage,
Dude,
that's the person you want to
she's
hear.
crazy.
whispering in your ear.
I'm good on crazy chicks. I've had enough in my lifetime.
Okay, well,
I'm good
clearly
on
you're not
crazy
talking
chicks.
to the right crazy chicks.
What's
That's
wrong with
your
one
issue.
more? Just have one more.
No, I'm good on crazy chicks. Y'all want crazy chicks? That's fine, but I'm okay on the crazy.
Whatever you
crazy
say.
chicks. But
Well,
all right,
here, what?
Anybody else want to take a crack at this PS5? Stuff?
Yeah, I want to take a crack at this thing real quick.
Go ahead, Destiny.
Destiny, she ain't saying
Oh,
nothing.
I thought you were gonna say something. I was gonna say something. No, I will. I'm about to say something.
I said I was going to take a crack at it.
No, I heard her voice before yours. That's why.
She didn't say anything, dog.
Just go, man.
She was talking about the controller at one point.
She literally didn't say nothing.
I
You hearing stuff, dog? You sure you ain't got that Rona?
Oh,
That's not one of the symptoms, Bear. Just go.
Bear,
You lose your sense of
Bear,
taste.
if you,
Your sense of taste and sense of hearing. You know?
sir,
Stop,
sir,
man.
if you're not gonna go, then I'll speak about the PS5.
All right, go ahead. You go.
All right. I'm gonna stab you.
Oh
yo.
Yo, I'm gonna have the camera and record this.
This man, Abaddon's and New York came out, right? They said I'm a
Notice how the two N64 heads are fighting.
Anyway, the whole PS5, it's interesting to say the least, but I'm just reminded of an interview Reggie had when he was still president on when they said they're not going to go power for power, and I really understand his perspective now. It's like you look at the Series X, you look at the PS5, and I will say they are rightfully priced for what you're going to get out of them for a console experience. You're getting basically, and Shav, actually correct me if I'm wrong, you're getting like a mid-level like PC build.
I would say think a little bit lower, and I'll talk about that in the video. We can get into
a little bit lower. Okay, well,
yeah, it's something that both of these companies are omitting like gravely. They don't want to talk about it. There's a reason why they're not talking about it.
Okay, please go into that, because it's like I'm seeing a lot of like specs on paper, but at the same time, because I used to look into cell phones and everything, specs on paper really don't mean nothing. The Huawei, everyone, what's it pronounced? Huawei? Like they have like
Huawei.
on this Huawei. There we go.
Huawei. Mm-hmm.
Huawei on paper looks great, but the phone is trash.
Yeah.
So it's like
some of the high end, the more expensive ones are decent.
Man, those phones are garbage, man.
I mean, they're just dialing out to rush every 5
Even Nokia phones are better.
But Nokia phones are adorable. Don't sleep. But I will
Nokia
say
Engage phone. You want one of those?
Ooh, that's a deep cut.
Yeah, the only Nokia I know that's adorable is Princess.
But going with the PS5, honestly, I hear all this hardware talk. I'm waiting to hear about some games. I want to hear about the software. I want to hear.
That's the problem too.
Like, I want to hear what games do you have? Like Nintendo, like at least with Series X, you know you're going to get the new Halo. And everyone's saying that's one game. I could arguably say the Switch had one big game when it came out, and that was Zelda. That's really Series X is in my opinion is in a much better position marketing wise. They showed the console. They said what games they have coming out. Even though it's very little, they said what games they have coming out. They are more prepared to launch their system right now. For what I'm getting, I feel like Sony is not prepared for this, but they're under pressure because of what Xbox was doing. It's kind of like the reverse of what happened back in 2013 during E3. It's like Xbox is really getting their just desserts now. They're getting their payback, and it's funny to see.
Let's not get it twisted. The true pressure is coming from Nintendo, just like
definitely.
You know,
does everybody remember the second screen experience for the PlayStation 4?
You know what I think though? I think that Nintendo at this point they're kind of I think they've already kind of conceded. Microsoft and Sony, they know they're not going to be able to compete with what Nintendo's like this portable hybrid type of thing. They already know that they're not going to be able to do like they're not.
That's true, but they're not going to leave Nintendo on the market uncontended for 3+ years.
Exactly.
They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
And Shadow Fox. No, go ahead, Destiny.
I was going to say, but at this point, they're just racing each other. It's a losing fight because they're both whenever they release the economy, the way the world is going to be, is they're going to do great. People are going to be the companies themselves. People who look at companies are going to be like, oh, look at the product put out. It's more than.
And to add to that, well, I want to add to what you said. I also want to add to what Shadow Fox said. Shadow Fox, you mentioned the two screen. That's, I mean, we could probably talk about that later on tonight as well. But the Switch has a rumor of the second screen part of the hardware. That's part of the rumor set that's coming out. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. The first thing that came to my mind when I saw that was Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
That's the first thing that came to my mind. So it's like Nintendo, they're really doing their own thing right now, and I see what you're saying. They're not gonna leave. That's why the DualSense is a thing right now. It's their way of trying to counter Nintendo, but they need to focus on games. I mean, I grew up at a time where Sony had exclusives, like exclusive games, where you had Crash Bandicoots, where you had Tomb Raider, where you had Ratchet and Clank, where you had
they've got exclusives.
But the exclusive, but the
quality's good according to, at least objectively, according to what I mean, like The Last of Us, Horizon Zero Dawn,
exclusives to sell.
Let's put
Bloodborne. You know,
we're
Infamous.
Bushido played at.
No, I'm
Ghost of Tsushima. They've got exclusives.
Let's talk about exclusive for a second. I'm gonna shake this up back to a little bit. When we talked about exclusives growing up, with whether it's the N64, the PlayStation, or the PS2, the GameCube, a lot of those exclusives made you want to go ahead and buy the console itself. Mm-hmm. And you could say the Switch has been doing that lately. The Switch has done that with Pokemon. The Switch has done that with Smash. The Switch has done that with Mario Kart. The Switch has done that with Zelda. The Switch has done that multiple times. How many people are going out of their way to go ahead and buy Death Stranding, a PS5 for Death Stranding, a PS5 for Last of Us 2?
They're going to buy a PS5 for Last of Us 2. Absolutely. It's going to be a cross-gen title, and people will buy it for that.
People who are people who are neutral to the franchise, not people who are already fans of the franchise. I'm talking about the exclusives have power to make fans who did not have a console already.
It's tough. I mean, I would say this. I would say that The Last of Us on the PS4 definitely sold systems because Sony did a really good thing with it. They bundled it in with it, and it's the best-selling franchise that they got right now in terms of things.
Fair enough.
So I would say that The Last of Us is that game that can definitely get people to go out there and get it. They because like The Last of Us was.
Do you think it would have done that if they didn't make a bundle?
No.
And that's what I'm getting at.
Nintendo does that without bundles.
That's what I'm getting at. Like literally,
like God of War. A new God of War would definitely get people to buy the PS5 for sure. Like
Spider-Man,
Nintendo,
brand new Spider-Man, get people to buy.
Spider-Man, they were bundling with the PS4 too.
They bundled.
Yep.
Let me tell you. Let me. The point that I'm trying to make. The point that I'm trying to make. The contrast I'm making is Nintendo is the premium brand, while Sony's like literally that discount. No. Like everyone literally waits.
Okay, so
think about it.
I get what he's saying. So basically, you saying Nintendo is that 93 gas and Sony's that 89. That's basically what you're saying.
Like one is that good, and one is that Reggie.
Here's the thing: everyone they have different dynamics though. There's like listen, and that might be the case, but there's still maybe something isn't as good in one area, but Sony excels in many other areas where Nintendo doesn't excel, right? So let's talk about online. Let's talk about
the online's amazing.
Let's talk about third party. Let's talk about
especially when they get hacked.
So, they might not be as good maybe in exclusives because Nintendo specializes in that. They're very good in many other things. So I get that. Here's the thing: people will buy a system. People will buy a system for third-party games, which that might not be the case for Nintendo because Nintendo doesn't focus on what third-party developers in terms of big ones want, like the graphics and the online play and all that stuff. So people will go out there and buy a PS4 if it has the latest Madden or whatever the case because they like it.
Problem with that logic.
The problem with that. Now here's the thing. I understand the problem with that because it can there could be a pendulum swing, right? When it comes to like Xbox, because Xbox is firing strong. So people will say, okay, well, I just want to play this third party, this third party. Well, if Xbox is the best system on the market, then those fans might go back over, like the 360 era, right? But I'm just saying, like, there's nothing wrong with being like how Sony is, and they do a good job with their exclusives. I might not like all of them, but they do a good job with them. And then they have superior third party support. Like PlayStation's third party support is the best in the industry, plain and simple. They get the most games. Always. That's why they make $5 bazillion every single. They make so much money because they get so many royalties from third-party games because they get everything. They get everything from Japan and they get everything from America, and there's no other system on the market that can
yes
get both.
And no. So Microsoft and Sony also hold L's because they promote a lot of these third-party games, and they don't cut the deals. They cut the deals that Nintendo refuses to do. They pay for publishing for these games. A lot of the time they'll put their own branding on it and they'll run a commercial for a third-party game. Unfortunately for them, third-party games aren't guaranteed to sell on their system. You know who sells the most third-party games right now?
Sony.
No.
Oh, we're not.
That's what sells most third-party games right now.
We're talking about the dedicated video game market here.
But they see that and they see that it's dwindling. So you can't outside of Grand Theft Auto 5 and certain. I'm just saying certain type of third party game, they're not guaranteed. You're not guaranteed to make that kind of money off licensing fees. That's why they're having to cut the price on these games so they're able to make some type of turnaround at some point on licensing. So they keep on purchasing more orders for the games for that system. So they could.
You're right, and I get what you're saying, right, Shadow Fox? I get you. But you also have to look at PSN. Like if you go into Sony's financial reports, people buy digital. People on PlayStation buy digital a lot, like more than you would even think. There's a lot of gamers on PlayStation that don't like physical. Yeah, well, maybe they do. They just don't like physical. That's why you go on Amazon.com and you see PSN. What's number one every single day of the year? PSN cards.
PSN card.
$10 PSN card. Because people, they don't trust Sony's servers to put their... They just buy digital. People just buy. Heck, that's how I bought Final Fantasy VII Remake. I bought it digital.
All my PlayStation 4 games are digital.
But that's changing too, though. PSN card. Switch is selling games like crazy online too.
No, you're right about that. Nintendo's catching up.
I just picked up Tales of Vesperia the other day on the Switch.
The licensing fees and what Sony's making basically just off of PSN is staggering. Like what they're making off of that, which is, developers get a big cut of it. It's obviously cheaper for Sony, in terms of orders. They don't have to maybe put in as many, which could also, I guess, somewhat negatively affect their physical game business, but they get higher cuts of digital revenue and don't have to ship as much when people buy the game digital. Everybody wants everybody to go digital, right? Sony, Microsoft, they're all saying, let's all go digital because they all get higher cuts when it's digital. They don't want to ship crap to stores. If it was up to them, everybody would just buy everything digital, So Sony's actually happy about that. But where the problem can lie in is that you're right. It's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. And if Microsoft does better this generation and takes more of the cut, they're not going to make that money that they made with the PS4 because obviously Wii U and Xbox One slipped out of the gate. So yeah,
I feel you to what you were saying, but to dial it back a bit, it's like Sony is excelling in a lot of parts that I could very much argue that are irrelevant to the longevity of actual gameplay. Now online, that I'll say that's the only thing that I will give Sony that's really beating out Nintendo. Everything else, when it comes to really playing your actual games, like Nintendo's killing it right now. That's why the Switch is selling the way it is, because it's giving you a gaming experience. You know what you're getting. Sony is trying to sell a multimedia experience. They're not trying to sell video games. Let's make that clear right now. They're trying to make them. Their main mission.
If they could sell evergreen games just like Nintendo does, they'll put out a Nintendo brand game, and it will literally be in the top 10 for a year.
They don't have that market.
If Sony had brands that powerful for every single one of their first party games, they would be doing it.
You know why they never will? Destiny, go ahead and I'll tell you why. Destiny, go
I was gonna say Nintendo will always be a, because it's their name. Like, it's just the go to like someone like my who doesn't game, say, oh, I want the latest game thing, and she'll be like, oh, the Nintendo. She won't say Sony. She won't say Microsoft. She'll be like, oh, you want the new Nintendo? Okay, we can get the new Nintendo. And there's a lot of people like that. So Nintendo's always going to come, because people are always going to be like, no matter what you say games, people are going to be like, oh, Nintendo, right?
I agree. And Sony was almost there, though. That's what's so sad. They just dropped
the part that I'm trying to make.
They had brands.
They can't get there, though. Here's the reason why they can't get there: because it pisses third parties off when you're like that. You can't. When you put first party first, right? More so than anything, it pisses third parties off. Like, third parties want their games to be like. That's why Sony gets stupid stuff. Like Modern 1 month Modern Warfare 2 campaign, like the dumbest deal that I've ever seen. But I just think that it's stupid to have $29.99 Modern Warfare campaign remastered, exclusive on PlayStation for
people wanted the multiplayer.
Stupidity like that because they cater to third parties, which is fine because they make so much money off of the third party development. But you're never going to get that with Sony. You're never going to get that because people like the people that buy PlayStation like third party too much. There's not enough money for them to have evergreens that sell for a long time because people love third party so much.
I'm gonna challenge that. I'm gonna say
that's a problem too. But go ahead, Abner.
No, I'm gonna say people 9 times out of 10 do not know what they like and present it in front. If Sony if Sony marketed their stuff better, then they could be up there with Nintendo. They could sell more. Their exclusives could be up there. Where you have Resident Evil 2 turned $20 in less than a year.
That's not their fault.
I see Sony chairs on
TV. I think it's time for my take. I don't know.
Go ahead.
They have time out. Objectively speaking, they have exclusives that are as big as Nintendo, right?
What?
God of War doesn't review as well and big as other Nintendo games? No.
See,
no.
Most people say they do at the time, but
these games are. I'm talking about quality-wise. Quality and sales-wise.
I'm talking about quality and sales-wise.
OJ, no, because
over time, no.
Because like right now, people are still talking about. Right now, people still talk about Odyssey. Right now, people still talk about Mario Kart, Splatoon, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. People are still talking about these games years later. Are people still talking about God of War right now?
Yes.
No.
Talking about God of War?
No.
Outside of the Sony peasant drone, nobody's.
What I'm saying, here's what I'm saying, guys. Here's what I'm saying. Sony has franchises that can, review-wise, rival up with Nintendo and can sell millions and millions upon copies. Sell 7 million, 10 million. They do, because they've done it. God of War did it. Last of Us did it.
Okay, but wait, hold on.
Did it with God of War. Like, let's stop acting.
Last of Us sold 20 million. Last of Us sold
20 million.
Over 2 platforms.
But wait a second.
2 platforms.
Okay. Wait a second. And
they re-released it to get to that number.
And it was bundled in, and it was $5. I know. Like you got okay. I got you, man. Damn.
We can't use 10 million on PlayStation versus 10 million on the Switch. Like, do you know how many units of PlayStation there are? PS4 units there are over 100 million sold. Right,
reviews wise, they're up there. I'll just say that. Let
me get my take. Let me get my take on this. Look. Sony will never be on that level, Nintendo, because quite frankly, they just don't have the talent to be on that level. You know what I mean? Naughty Dog does good at what they do with the interactive movie. That's about it. When you don't have a studio that can really push the envelope innovatively in gaming, you're really never going to reach their level. That's just a fact of it. You're going to get some pretty pictures. You're going to get your Ghost of Tsushimas, your Days Gones, your Death Strandings, and all that other pretty ass shit that's garbage. But you're just never going to reach that quality level that Nintendo puts out on a consistent basis. They just don't have the talent to do that. This is why God of War selling like 10 million copies was almost like the Messiah coming down to earth to them because they never got to achieve anything like that.
Spider-Man.
On the list of the best selling games.
They can't really claim Spider-Man because Spider-Man is his own franchise on its own.
No,
so
it's like they own it. They own
I know they own it, but it ain't really like that's something that we created. That's our baby. No, Spider-Man been around.
They were like dealing with the PlayStations and
Spider-Man was part of
big sales during Black Friday because you go into like Best Buy and these places like tens of thousands of these Spider-Man PS4s, and that's the only one you can grab because everything else is sold out.
Yep.
Well, yeah, that too. I'm just saying it's not like they created Spider-Man like Kratos and God of War. It's really not their baby. It's really something you borrowed from Marvel that was already popular. So it's like
Nintendo.
You're not
they
really
love Spider-Man.
Come on, bro.
Sony
I'm looking at this list right now. It's the best selling games of all time, right? Sony is at the very bottom of the list with the exception of one game.
Don't do all time. That's not
Uncharted. Look at Alonzo Vine says Uncharted.
The Last of Us is their best selling game.
Yeah, The Last of Us is the best selling game. They have Uncharted that sold 16 million. You know?
Yeah, but it took Uncharted 5 entries to get to that point. This is what I'm trying to make y'all understand.
That's not that.
I think 6 if you include the PSP.
Wait a minute, that's not that. Much.
I thought the PSP was the 5th one. There was a 6th one. Uncharted 1 through 4, and then the PSP game, which was Golden.
I'm thinking of the game after Uncharted 4. The two girls. That's what I was thinking.
Guys, listen.
Oh, there's a PSP and a Vita game.
There's a PSP game that's a card game, and then there's a PS Vita game that's an actual like Uncharted game.
Golden Abyss or something is called like that.
Yeah, Golden Abyss is the PS Vita game, and then there's a PSP card game.
But yeah, you had to go 5 entries to get to that point. You know what I mean? So at this point, and the thing is, you really can't hold Uncharted up to anything else really on Nintendo's platform because it will outsell it regardless.
Baron, Sony's
any other franchise, Nintendo franchise will still outsell it. So
Sony's best-selling first-party game did not outsell Connected Ventures.
But guys,
for reference,
I don't want to go all time. I want to keep it in the realm of this.
The thing I'm saying is this.
But the thing is,
we might not like their games as much, whatever. But they've got games that can sell. They've got games that. When it comes to Metacritic wise, that can compete. They review high. They've got those. They got. I'm
put to you like this: when they launched their system, and I'm not even going to count Uncharted the first one because it was new. It really wasn't a system seller at that point. If they can launch with Uncharted and a God of War, and they can move their systems and outsell the other systems, then I will give them that credit. Until then, no. Okay, you selling 10 million God of Wars after 100 million consoles are out? I don't give a damn about that.
What about Resistance?
Show me that.
What about Resistance? They can bring back Resistance.
Resistance is garbage, bro.
It is? You don't like it?
Resistance was garbage on the third. Once the third one came out,
the first one was good.
No, the third one was garbage.
I thought Resistance. I thought the first one and the second one were pretty.
I'm talking about Gar with a BITCH on the end. They destroyed that franchise. That's the end of that. It's not coming back. And that's half their problem is that they can't maintain franchises. They run them into the ground.
Or they just have one though. Infamous is so good.
That last Infamous was not good. This is stuff I'm talking about. They can't maintain anything. And this goes back to my discussion of what I'm saying is that they don't have the talent to do what Nintendo does. Because they can't even sustain franchises. They had to redo God of War completely.
Obviously, they don't have the talent in terms of as many franchises. But what I was saying is that when it comes to certain games, like what Abaddon was saying, but they excel in other things. Like they excel in terms of like
the interactive movie. Yeah.
Everything that doesn't matter to a video game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No,
exactly.
It does. Though.
It's Sony interactive media.
The power of a system definitely can affect how a game, in terms of frame rate, in terms of some things like that. So Sony does a good job of making sure, like in terms of their systems, that they're powerful enough to where the frame rates are usually good, and to where, like, let's say online play is good, so you have better enjoyment of online play with certain types of games. Let's just be real.
You're talking about just PlayStation 4, right?
No, yeah.
Because PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 2 were horrible at that.
Well, that was at the beginning. PS3 wasn't. I don't think PS3's online was too bad. For me, I thought it was.
No, I was talking about the graphics and the performance, especially with ports. It was,
the
PS3 was horrible.
Well, that's because of the cell architecture, but eventually they got the hang of it on PS3.
So they give Nintendo that same grace then. Eventually Nintendo get the hang of it.
Get the hang of what?
Get of online and everything else.
But wait a minute. We've had how many generations now?
Whoa.
But is Nintendo's like
generation?
And what part of the online are you talking about though? Because their infrastructure is always up, and Sony and Microsoft is always down.
We're just talking like from a system feature wise.
Oh, then that's not the online. Then that's firmware.
Part of the online experience, which would be like for some people voice chatting, right? With some people messaging. It's just part of the online.
That's
experience.
firmware. That's software. That's not really online.
I know, but that's like I said, the online experience in terms of things. Like that's what people are complaining about, right? So like online experience. I personally don't care, but like, cause like Discord's better than the online voice chat for PS4 and Xbox One are trash. So I mean, like
a lot of the features Nintendo fanboys wanted for online and firmware and whatnot, they were on Wii U, and y'all didn't buy it. So
they were haphazardly on Wii U, but yeah, they were there.
You had folders. You had.
I like my folders.
You even had video chat.
You could plug an external hard drive to it.
You had somehow Nintendo made a resolution lower than like.
they were the first console where you could directly upload videos of you. So
you guys ever do that video chat on the video chat? On the
I never did that.
I did it
once,
maybe 5 times.
But I use the hell out of chatting with on the Wii U.
Nintendo TV. I use that a lot.
Bro, that video chat.
Miiverse was Twitter on crack, bro.
It really was.
No, that's not Twitter on crack. That's like Tumblr, but like without pictures.
Why can't Metroid call? Please tell me.
Why can't Metroid? That was the best post ever. Why can't? There was a guy on there that used to do like Wii.
Hey, yo, guys, I'll be right back.
No problem. There was a guy on there that used to do Wii U news.
Crappy Wii U Miiverse post.
Yeah, Wii U news. I don't know what ever happened to that guy.
The talented artists on there were just amazing to me.
Yeah,
I love logging in and looking at that.
You know what I mean? The problem that I had with Miiverse, it was like it completely threw you out of the like. Let's say you wanted to post something, it's like, all right, hold on, let me see what time it is in New York, London, like Morocco, like you know what I'm saying? Like it took so long it took like a minute plus to boot up Miiverse, right? If I'm not correct from a game. Like if you're inside a game and like you want to post something, it just like if they would have just integrated it a little bit better. Like let's say you can play the game on your screen and like you can have Miiverse up on your Wii U gamepad at the same time. That would have been sick. If they
it wasn't there from the beginning. It was part of the day one update when you first got the console. So it was definitely an add-on, and you could tell.
Yeah.
Or if you could have had it like on your did they do a smartphone companion for that? Was there a smartphone?
They never did. They did a web app.
Okay,
and that was the closest you got to.
Yeah, but people were still like getting certain phones that might be able to be like, you know, like people. Yeah. Some people still didn't have like smartphones that were like that. You know, I think that if Miiverse launched in today's day, it'd be a lot more successful. Like with the Switch, if there was like some type of Miiverse, it'd be way more successful. You know,
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're right about that. But the PS5 thing, man, like I've been saying for the last few months, if I'm concerned about anybody, it's Sony, and now y'all see why.
Aside from Godfall,
they just in a hard spot, and everybody.
PlayStation is the only thing making profit for them.
They kept procrastinating with information. I'm not buying that thing.
That's actually what I want.
Definitely not buying.
Well, I'm an idiot, so I'm definitely gonna buy both of them day one.
No. I am not in the camp of buying a console day one. I'm in the camp of
the only console
6 months to a year.
Patient
wait
zero.
for a few more games to come in. Wait for some patches to fix any bugs. Then you buy the console.
I learned my lesson.
Give me all the pain.
Listen. I learned my lesson with the damn Xbox 360. I'm not buying anybody console at launch except for Nintendo.
That was good pain, though. That was good pain. You know,
I'm not dealing with nobody but Nintendo on launch.
Overheat.
I'll give you 3 months. I'll let everybody get all the bad ones first, and then I'll think about it later. But as far as the PS5 go, this realistically is not going to be nothing software wise for me. You know what I mean? So I don't see that happening within the first 6 months. That thing is out.
First 3 years, if you count last generation. I mean, 8th generation. Like it took 2.5 years for the role of software to start picking up.
I think Raheem brought up a point that a lot of people would probably say about Nintendo in terms of just kind of like a counterpoint. He says that Nintendo's problem is that whenever they make a new console, they're always trying to use the bare minimum when it comes to power. It's ridiculous. It's always behind in features. I think part of that is right. I think that behind in features
is it really the bare minimum?
But that's where I think that he's wrong in terms of that, because
he's definitely wrong
at the time. The Tegra X1, in terms of what Nintendo was trying to do with the Switch, was the strongest type of mobile chip. They could have went with the K1, but that wouldn't have been strong. Like there was other mobile chips that were weaker that they could have went with and maybe probably made games with that. On top of that, also like Capcom said that, like, hey man, like you need to put some more RAM in there. Like they were gonna go with 2. Capcom made them go with 4. So they definitely don't always go with the bare minimum. I think the Wii for sure. With the Wii U, just depending on certain things. But
the Wii was definitely bare minimum.
The Wii was definitely bare minimum.
The Wii was a GameCube.
Yeah, the Wii was definitely bare minimum. But the Switch, that was actually top of the line mobile tech when you have to put together.
Yes.
There was no other
2015 when they were shopping it.
Yeah, there was no other chip stronger than the Tegra X1, which was the strongest.
I mean, at this point, you got late generation PS4 and Xbox One games on Switch. How do you still believe this damn thing is bare minimum? Come on, people, use your common sense.
What exactly here? The thing about it
was 2 years old. It takes a long time to build and plan a console. You know that, right?
Here's the thing.
Off a custom SoC.
You can't.
So this happened in 2015.
Yeah, you can't have the latest tech when your system launches, because you have to get what you're gonna stick with, right? And at the time that they were putting together the system so they can get into developers' hands, Tegra X1
was bleeding edge.
Was the best tech. They can't wait till 2017 and then use the newest tech in 2017.
Yeah, that's why they had to use that old chip, Raheem.
Yeah,
I understand your logic with the 2 years, but that's how they design a console. It takes that long to get it all set through, patented. It's a long process.
BS. It's not BS that we're here. Like, for example, like the PS4.
It's a project. It's planned.
The PS4 was not the latest tech when the PS4 launched.
It
was a number of years old compared to, it wasn't 2013 tech. It was like 2011 tech, 2010-ish, 2011 tech in the PS4 when it launched. It wasn't the latest tech. It was older tech, because you have to get
I got the base PS4 myself. I hear it record the engine all the time.
So we're not trying to BS anybody here. We're not trying to BS anybody. That's
all I know is that they made good on their promise. Reggie said that the Switch, before it came out, it would play games that are on PS4 and Xbox, and that's exactly what happened. And that's all they cared about. That's all they wanted was the third-party support. Can this thing run the PS4 and Xbox One games? Yes, that's all he needed.
Series
and now
X
we're here where we're at.
PlayStation 5, the CPUs are not that new. Zen CPUs and the Zen CPUs they're going to be using that they don't want to about in detail, they're not that new. So they'll just tell you, oh, it has twice as many threads or whatever, or it's twice the performance of previous gen, but in what
VC
in what capacity? So like they don't want to go into details because they're trying to tell you that it's just basically a natural step up from the old Bobcat cores that used to be there, the Jaguar cores that used to be in there. And keep in mind, the Jaguar cores are significantly weaker than the Tegra X1 CPU at the time. Microsoft and Sony were trying to wait on the Tegra CPU to put in their console, and they could not wait anymore, so they went all AMD.
Let me go over some donations here. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. It seems like a lot of people, we have some nice fan interaction. People are enjoying the stream. All right, so next up is Bryson Warden donated $1. Or no, hold up. Yeah, Bryson Warden donated $1 and says, yo, happy birthday, Baron. I'm playing Animal Crossing right now. Troy Perry donated $2.
Who said that so I could ban him in the
Bryson
chat?
Warden. Troy Perry donated $2.99 and says, Baron's thoughts on the recent WWE releases?
No comment.
Okay. What about you, Destiny? I know you're a big wrestling fan.
It sucks. It's so stupid. They released, like, some of the people they released, it made total sense, and for other people they released it made absolutely no sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks to see all these people on Twitter, because you see, like, some people who are still going to be competing in wrestling and pouring their hearts on Twitter and crying. It's like these people thought they had a job, and now they don't. They thought they were safe, and they don't. It's like some of these people are able. Sorry.
Blood money.
I just wanted to clear some things.
Saudi shows, like, where did all the blood money go? Like, they didn't have to cut them off during the.
Hey! Listen. I have legit people and friends that work at these companies, so I'm definitely not going. I'm not going to directly comment on anything, but I will say this: all the producers were furloughed, and the wrestlers were released. So the producers will most likely get back to work when everything starts shipping up. But
so next year in March.
Well, it might be before then, because if you didn't know, number 45 put out his phase 1 plan of reopening America today. So
Oh.
and it included sports events. So a lot of people keep sitting up here saying it's not going to happen, but he's trying to make it happen. And I'm telling you, it's going to happen because, like OJ said, he put Vince and Dana White on that board to reopen the economy for a reason. I bet you Roger Goodell is on there too. They are going to get these sports running because sports make a lot of money.
Wasn't Florida cleared for wrestling anyway? Was it
no, Florida wasn't cleared. WWE was claimed an essential business, so they can still.
Well, them and AEW.
A $16 million contract.
And they're going to do a pay-per-view there.
So, and the thing is, you got to understand, it's like he put them on that board for a reason because these people have to get you got to understand, it's so much. People got to understand it. I know some people are upset because everybody think, oh, people are in danger. But you also got to understand, y'all know my view on that. I'm not going to get into that anymore. That took like 20 minutes last time. But you got to understand, it's a lot of people, it's a lot of stuff tied into this stuff. It's not just, WWE trying to do this. It's like, it's USA and the TV rights and paying the TV rights. It's Fox Sports 1. It's ESPN. It's all these people and all this money that, this money still has to go around. People still have to get paid.
Already bankrupt, so.
And the XFL had to die because of it. It's like, you know what I mean? I hate that some of my friends don't have no jobs no more, but I understand what exactly happened. And some
one of your friends don't jobs. He was on AEW last night. Your friend was on AEW last night. What are you talking about? Your friends have jobs. He was on last night.
I have friends in a lot of companies. I have a lot of friends in a lot of companies. Yeah. But the thing is, if y'all really think that the NFL is like, the NFL has to start because these cities make so much money off these franchises. You know what I mean? It's like it's
all the tax dollars for all the restaurants nearby. Like
the quicker they can get this thing settled out, the better. But you understand
all the merchandise.
The merchandises, the people who make the merchandise, the factories who print the merchandise, the people who ship the merchandise, all these people get paid. This is a big ecosystem here. It's not just NFL or WWE. It's a big ecosystem, and it's all these people around it that affect it, especially the TV. Because if you ain't putting no live shows on TV, they don't have to pay you the TV rights. Therefore, you ain't making no money. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's
the way they went about it was bad as well. Just sending out text messages.
Yeah, it's wrestling is a cutthroat business.
It is, but you think you put X amount of years into a company, you put not only your life at risk, but your body, that you get at least a phone call.
Oh, Vince is
well. You know what I gotta say to that. I agree with you on that, but that's not my call to make. I don't run the company, so. But you know what I got to say to that though. We had a guy that worked for a company 30 years and only got a tweet when they booted his ass out.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about
it, got the tweet.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, capitalistic business can be. It's not just like wrestling. Capitalistic business can be cutthroat. Like. Bro,
it's designed to be cutthroat.
It can be, but it's like
any business, dude. I got booted. I went to work. You know how many times I've been fired for like I just go to work. You're gone. Like I'm on the smaller scale when it comes to being cut. Like capitalistic.
Like it's not even a bad thing on your resume anymore because every company is just like
exactly
zero, like, no reason by.
You guys put the bad jobs on your resume. You're not supposed to do that.
Before when you got fired, it was like, oh snap, I got fired. But now it's like, oh, you got fired. Join the damn club. It's like everybody getting fired for something or getting laid off.
I'm the leader of the club, just like Barrett of the Avalanche.
I know. I'm one of the side members for sure because I've been fired a number of times for.
Hey, OJ, real quick. Could I stand on my soapbox real quick? This is probably gonna be gaming related. It is gaming related actually. So I saw a comment in the chat up here, and is talking about. They said that the CPU in the Series X and the PlayStation 5 is a decent CPU. How do you know that?
Let's talk about
it. That's my and what you're gonna say is, well, I saw some videos and Digital Foundry said, no, what information did they provide you about the CPUs that you know that they're decent?
Yeah,
that's part of the video that I'm uploading. And that's the elephant in the room that we're talking about here. They didn't give you cache. They didn't give you L1 or L2 numbers. They didn't tell you what the data path is. They didn't tell you whether the North Bridge or the South Bridge has this path wide or not. And they did that for a reason, because they don't want you to identify exactly what that chip is. If it was a top of the line CPU, they would have told you. They would have bragged and told you the exact model number, but they didn't. So there's a reason why.
Yeah, I think it's still going to be. I think the CPU is going to be much improved from what they had. I know like the CPU was a little bit of an issue with the PS4 and the Xbox One. But
I'll put it this way:
I think the CPU
I will guarantee you that the Zen processor that's in both of these consoles is still the same tablet variety of the other two. It's just the next generation of them. So there's improved IPC and whatnot from that architecture, but it's not the desktop architecture that you're expecting from your Zen CPU that's in the AMD PC that you bought or built. So they're using that labeling, and it's kind of, I want to say it's disingenuous, but that's marketing. And I don't want people to think that just because you see that name that you're going to get that type of performance. You're not. It's still in a small form factor because they put it all on one SoC this big. So the CPU is just a tiny dot on that entire block. The GPU makes up the vast majority of it. If the CPU is that tiny compared to the GPU, don't expect much.
Yeah, I think it's still going to be really good compared to what we've got. So I think it's just
you'll be able to do more threads, but
yeah, I think it's going to be an improvement, and that's what people are looking for. I mean, they're not looking. Most of these people that are sitting here in the chat and all this stuff, they don't understand all this stuff anyway. They don't. They just want to.
Most of them don't even know what half of it is.
They just want to see the games, and they just go off of what they heard from somebody else. They heard this is weak, this is strong, so I'm going to peddle this. I'm going to say that. So I mean, at the end of the day, really, it comes down to the games, and I think
it's frustrating to me because
I'm about to say
my business is Xeon or die. And I see all of this talk about like CPUs that are like, you're not doing anything with anything this small. It's not happening. And we hear all this talk about, oh, well, they'll be able to do this and all this AI and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm like, I deal with workloads that you couldn't even imagine. And the chips are going to be about this big. So like, no, you're not going to get anything that you think you're going to get from the marketing that they're providing you. There's a reason why Digital Foundry got in front of this before they even revealed these consoles and started talking about, I don't know, they started talking about shaders are different. They're the same count, but they're different. The cores are more, but expect them to do way more than they are. They're trying to get ahead of this to let you know it's not that big of a jump. It's not.
The reason we've reached. Oh, go ahead, Shadow Fox.
I was just saying we've reached that point that Miyamoto talked about in the 6th generation. It's diminishing returns.
The reason why I said what I said in terms of it is like, remember that PlayStation event that they had where they were talking all technical stuff? How many people cared? Like, so many people did not. Got so much backlash. So that's why reason why I said that. I mean, obviously there's people that understand that, but at the end of the day, we don't care. Like all the technical mumbo jumbo that Sony went through, nobody cares. Like some people care. Digital Foundry cares. Some people that are really into it care, but most people just want to see what games they can play and if the games run good or not. Like, they don't care about all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't...
Now, Mark Cerny's really smart. I hope that developers follow his plan, because what he is proposing is a new way for developers to make games. My problem is, I think, is once they actually get into developing games for this, and the newer engines start coming out and whatnot for this, they'll go straight in the middleware, and they won't take advantage of it the way Mark Cerny is saying. It will have the same problems all over again. And all these games are still going to take forever to load. Like the ports in the first couple of games that come out for these consoles, they'll be great and they'll scream probably. But once you start getting games, they're like, well, if we have this much power, then let's make these games even bigger. And now you've got, 300 gig games and you got the same problem all over again.
All right. Shall we talk about like maybe a same problem all over again? New model Switch with what's going on here? You guys hear about that?
Yeah, so the model number ABCD.
Yeah, the new model number was found in firmware version 10.0. So, support for a new model was found. So what do you guys think this is? Do you guys think this is a revision? Is it like a Switch Lite type of thing? Some people talked about 2-screen experience. I know Nate from Direct Feed Games, he posted on his Nate the Hate channel. He posted a video as well that had a great thumbnail with RGT. Quite possibly the best thumbnail ever. Those thumbnails are awesome. Those are the best thumbnails. Yeah. But yeah, so he posted a video too. So what do you guys think this is, man? What do you guys think it is? I guess we can start with Avedon, man. What do you think this do you think this is anything at all?
You cut out. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, you cut out.
I was cutting out.
Yeah.
When did I cut out? What part did you guys hear?
You say what do you think this is, and we didn't hear like who you was talking to or anything.
Okay, yeah. I guess Nate from Direct Feed Games, he put out a video, with that talking about it.
It sounded like you were asking for one of us to say something.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Then what do you guys? I said, Abaddon, what do you think about this new model or whatever they get? Like, what do you think about it? Like, what's your or is there anything at all? Do you think it's nothing? Do you think it's just something that they're gonna do maybe later in the future? Whatever.
I take all rumors with Nintendo have sold, as we've seen, with the leaked rumors, directs and everything. I just learned when I hear rumor and Nintendo to just like, oh, that's nice and keep it moving. But my thoughts on the rumor itself, I mean, with the dual screen, as I mentioned earlier with Shadow Fox, I thought about games like Xenoblade Chronicles X, probably a definitive edition of that, or a remaster of that coming to the Switch, or games that would use like a second screen. Another game I'm thinking about they could probably use that for is probably like Watch Dogs or other games. They could find more creative ways to use things like that. So it's something. I guess my only concern is if it's like a add-on, like how much would this be? Like that's like my main concern, if anything. If it is like a new add-on, I don't think it's a revision. I think it's more of an add-on. My question is like,
it could be a revision, personally.
I think it's too early right now. I think Nintendo's gonna wait until like the PS5 and the Xbox Series X is already out before they start getting to the revision. Right now, they're in a comfortable place. They are over 50 million units sold, and the only reason why they slowed down now is because of the pandemic that's going on right now. Outside of that, they probably would have sold out even more right now. Like that's literally the only thing slowing them down right now. So there is no right now they could literally sell out and really work on a new revision, but to release a new revision right now or to kind of like put it out anytime soon, I think it's premature in my opinion. Especially since we just hit 3 years on this thing, and they said they want this to have like a 10-year lifespan. I personally don't think we won't see a revision until about the 5-year mark. They said 7 to 10. I thought
7 to 10. Oh, all right. I
thought I heard 10 years from an interview. But
either these new consoles again, they're trying to change generations.
From the Switch, I can't speak about PS5. I heard from the Switch from an interview they was trying to keep this for a 10-year lifespan. If that be the case, I don't see a revision for into the 5th year mark. To be real with you, especially since with all these games that are coming out, I think Nintendo's more focused on the games they're developing for them right now. If anything, if anything that goes to show, I think they're more focused on the development of games, which is. It's funny because I feel like we hear a lot of people say Nintendo's not really saying much for the year 2020, and I'm like, it's just April. We got Animal Crossing, which is the exclusive, and then the first real exclusive. We're bound to get more exclusives. And
I think it's the biggest exclusive of 2020, though.
That's cool. I can understand why you think that way because of the casual market.
In there with that?
Yeah. I mean, no. Like literally all
sales wise too. Like
all jokes aside, that's attacking the casual market almost. It's like this being objective. Animal Crossing could be this. It could have kind of a mini, not going to say a full out way, but a mini Wii Fit effect where it gets a whole bunch of people just interested in trying out the game. Because I know myself and a whole bunch of other people who were not Animal Crossing fans, this was their first Animal Crossing. So it could possibly have that effect if we'll know where that's at by May 7th. But honestly, I'm confident to say that Nintendo's really focusing more on their games more. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. So I guess the story came from the tweet from Mike Heskin. He's become famous because he reverse engineers code that comes in firmware, and he looks at he goes in a hex editor and looks at values and stuff and converts them into English text, if you will. So one of the things he found on there was he looked on one of the DRAM profiles and saw that there was a new CPU header name on there. and under that new CPU header name was it was ABCD NX ABCD or what have you. And then there was a new display model on there saying that it was possibly a secondary display. So for something like that, and if it's going to be a completely new model, if that's what's going to be the case, that's a brand new product. As far as a project would go, and that also means that a brand new development unit needs to be built. Which, for all intents and purposes, for what I understand, that's not being done right now, and it definitely won't be because Nintendo had to change their entire production line and move half of it to Japan for a lot of reasons, for a litany of reasons, more I guess political reasons, and now with the Rona situation, they have to move stuff around. So I would say at some point, Foxconn or whoever their new affiliate is in Japan, we would see some type of leak or something for whatever either from the new SDK itself or from an actual hardware run of somebody leaked specifications of what this new device would be. Because obviously that can't exist without a new SDK if it's a brand new display being supported. So it's not just something that Nintendo's just going to stealth release without any type of information that we'll have ahead of time. So I'm thinking this one is probably one of the ones that's going to sit on a back burner type situation. Like we're doing this ahead of time in our firmware because we're working on this other project. It may not even be a Nintendo Switch at the end of the day. Keep in mind that the Wii U was a Wii at one point. It was a Wii HD. Same thing for Wii. It was literally just a game box. It was a GameCube development kit that they used, and they just added the Wii remote controller to it. So while they add support for different firmware, it may not even be for a device that's going to use that firmware in the future. It might just be for internal testing. So it might actually be 10th generation. Who knows at this point? So it could be Wii U too.
Be careful. People don't like to hear that the Switch is 9th gen though, Shadow Fox. Be careful.
What's really good with the chat right now?
Oh, the chat's always bugging.
What's your thoughts on there's just some weirdo that's like a weird dude that never comes here that's just sitting there and basically just moving the goalpost whenever people he'll say something negative about Nintendo or whatever and try to say Sony's this, and then when people counter him he just brings up something different. So he's trying to troll, so he's just getting beat down right now by the mods. Mods just stomping a mud hole in him.
It's like the JoJo meme. He's just getting
he's getting, that's what I'm saying, he's getting JoJo'd right now in the chat, but he keeps on moving. If he actually answered back, like he wouldn't have gotten timed out and all that, but he's just getting JoJo'd right now because he keeps on moving the goalposts. Like people will answer him and then he'll just bring up something else. So like that stupid online weirdo thing.
I've had debates like that. Those are fun.
Yeah, it's just he's just, I've never seen this guy in here, but he's just here. I think he's just trolling just to have fun because this is the most attention he'll get today. But Destiny, what's your thoughts on this? Do you think there's gonna be like a new Switch thingy? Are you down for that?
I don't think any soon because the Switch is doing then. They have no reason to out, and anyone who thinks Switch is expensive, you have like right now Nintendo's just doing their thing, sell a shitload out of everything, so there's really no reason for bringing. Also, from what you guys were saying, I don't think they would have if it's going to be Switch related at all, because at that point what it is or how they do it, it's always going to be like the DS form. Like, oh, 2 screens. The DS, like the DS, it's gonna be bad. That maybe this is like something they have worked for some future or to play off the DS. I don't think it'll be a new Switch 2 screens because the whole point of Switch was for it to be something portable, simple.
Yeah, I think they're saying that
like
your audio's cutting Destiny a little bit. Yeah. So they can't. I hear that your audio's cutting.
It sounds clear. You're just going in and out.
Yeah, it sounds clear.
It's not that bad.
Yeah,
it's just
Discord.
It's like every syllable or two.
But the chat is definitely saying that they want to hear you, but
okay.
Your audio's cutting.
So I'm saying is that I don't think it's going to be related. Whatever the thing they're working on, good. I can see it coming. I don't think it's going to be another Switch.
So basically what she's saying is that, yeah, she doesn't think it's going to be anything. The Switch is selling well and all that stuff. But yeah, the chat is definitely saying that your audio's cutting just a little bit, cutting in and out. Not sure if you have to plug in, plug out, or plug back in, do whatever. But
you keep cutting in and out for me too.
Am I cutting in and out too?
You just did.
Yeah,
it's Discord. It's literally Discord.
Discord's bugging with the new update.
Okay,
it's probably Discord.
Yeah. That's why I don't rely on Discord for voice stuff too much outside of the showcast.
They said Destiny write some subtitles.
Like it's an anime.
Like go to your what's it called? Go to your dashboard. Go to subtitles. Then you have to get your subtitles ready. VC man, what's your thoughts on this, bro?
Not happening. And if it was happening, I can only see it being useful for bringing DS games back in some way. Because we already have DS games on the Switch, like Mega Man Zero, right? Or ZX. Mm-hmm. That's on the Switch, and those are DS games. Maybe, yeah, Cooking Mama. That's that too. I don't know about Cookstar, but maybe the old Cooking Mama games, maybe, because those games are actually legal.
Yeah.
But overall, if it happens, it happens. It's not like something crazy to me. It's not like the end all be all, like it's gonna happen. Like, oh no, it's cool though. It's cool though. Something crazy, but
yeah,
can't wait to see what they do if they do it.
I've heard about this whole I don't think it's gonna be any. I mean, if anything, it would be something where, like, let's say you got your Switch, like maybe there's like a 2-screen mode. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can beam something, like you can play it on the TV, and then there might be something that pops up on your game. Like, let's say on your Switch, like you can take out the Switch and like you can beam it to the TV, and there might be like 2 screens, or that way, like something like that. I don't think it'd be anything crazy or like a completely new model. But that's why I said, here we go again. You know, I had to do the CJ meme, and here we go again. You know, with this stuff, people thinking it's like Switch Pro or something crazy. But you never know. I mean, it could be like a new Nintendo Switch, right? I mean, if Nintendo made a slightly more powerful Switch, would that really surprise anybody? I don't think so. They've done it before. With
better battery life.
Yeah, I mean, they might make something like a little bit more RAM, maybe, or like a little bit more efficient, or just. But it'd probably be like they still want to have developers develop like that's playable on the base Switch. You know, that's why you don't see any exclusive games for like Xbox One X, despite there definitely could be exclusive games for Xbox One X if developers, wanted to, but nobody wants that because they don't want to leave out the install base. So Nintendo's not going to make some type of powerful Switch Pro that only gets these certain games. Like, they're not going to do that. People.
Deadlock 7 says the second screen might be referring to another resolution, possibly. Is that a thing?
I don't know. What about you, Chris? What do you think, man? You think this is anything?
I don't really think it's anything because Nintendo's doing good right now with the Switch and the Switch Lite, and being able to sell their games compared to Xbox or PlayStation at a premium. Games that they release in the release year still selling at the high premium. So I feel like if it is something like an add-on or something like that, that'd be cool. But I'm not expecting anything. I think it's just something that maybe they're working on out there, and it's just something that maybe in a couple years will be something, But if it is like an add-on for like a second screen, maybe it could be something you could add to your dock, and be able to, hey, I'm playing the game right here and right there, and it's something you add to the dock, to make it be able to be second screen.
Yeah, I just don't know. I'm tired of all these rumors. Not rumors, but because I guess it wasn't even really a rumor. It was something that was in the update. So it wasn't even really a rumor. It's speculation.
This is where the Switch Lite or the Switch Mini then at the time, the Mini and the revision rumors came from too. When there was the leak was in 8.0 or 7.0, one of the two. Mm-hmm. And that's how we knew of the new CPU models then. And I told y'all then, your Switch Pro is just another Switch. So. I mean, we'll see. It's just funny that the Switch Lite has the same CPU as the as the updated Switch. It's better battery life for you. Here you go.
All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get to a couple more donations that we got here. Master Dragon, thank you for the host. Also, Aron donated $5 and says, I don't understand Baron's hate for AC. It's a chill game. Shaking my head. Well, Baron's not here. He hates Animal Crossing so much.
Baron's not a chill person when it comes to video games. He needs action or it's not a video game.
You know what? I felt like that too until I actually played Animal Crossing. That was one of the reasons I didn't play it for a while because I was like, this is stupid. It looks boring.
That's exactly what Baron says.
I like action. I like fighting games. I don't want to play this. Then I start playing it and now I'm hooked.
Yeah,
we should punish Baron. We should make him play Papers, Please, which is designed to be boring. Literally.
I think that Animal Crossing is one of those games. It's like, you know, it's a chill game. It's fun. I mean, it can have like obviously it's not like super action on that, but like once you start playing it, it kind of like it gets you like it's something different. It's a change of pace, but not everybody's gonna like that. Just like not everybody likes The Sims or not everybody likes games like Civilization, you know, or stuff like that. So it is what it is. Let's see here. Next up, we've got a donation from Eric P. And he donated $2. It's okay. Nintendo first party will always be $60. So I think that's what he's talking about there. Matthew Hammond donated $5. Says Nintendo wants to control the entire experience. That's why they use a phone app. Cursing occurs on the phone. Does not come out of the TV. They do not want to deal with banning people for what they say and paying for the staff to support it. You really think that's it? I don't know.
That sounds like something Nintendo would do.
Nintendo in Japan has some real questionable games, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's really the case.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I know that like the phone app, it gives them the ability to do certain things, and yeah, where they can control more stuff. But I mean, I don't really see the phone app. To me, seems like it's more work, like than to just build it into the system. I don't know. It seems like okay, you have to develop an app, you got to do all this. Like you can just like build it into the system, right?
I just if they
wait, hold on, not to cut you guys off. Look at this demasculinity in the chat for people who think that Animal Crossing is for women only. It's not for men. It's a girl game.
They're not serious.
Clearly, you guys have a problem with your femininity or masculinity. United plays in AA.
I think they're not serious. Nobody's serious when they like I said, if you base, I've said this before and I'll say it again, unless you're playing like Dora the Explorer or something like that, you know, or unless you're playing like something like completely literally built for kids. Animal Crossing is built for anybody that wants to play games. If you think that
it's a girl game,
if you think that your masculinity or your adulthood is based off of what video games you play, you're an idiot. Like if you honestly think that you're an idiot.
Animal Crossing seems like a game for people who like Sims and stuff like that. I wouldn't even say it's a girls game because when it came out, I was like,
doing Animal Crossing dates. Guys,
no, they're joking. They're not serious. They're not serious with the whole
Animal Crossing dates.
They're just
off Tinder. I'm being serious. It's a real thing right now.
You'd be like, hey,
I'll say this. I had more fun with the actual day-to-day gameplay in Animal Crossing on GameCube than I did the day-and-day tasks and routines that I had to do in Shenmue. Shenmue has action, but that is not the majority of the game.
I had more fun doing the day-to-day tasks in Animal Crossing New Horizons than I do in real life. Animal Crossing is like picking weeds and gardening is way more fun in Animal Crossing than it is in real life.
I like cutting my grass.
I don't know. Maybe for me, what like put me towards Animal Crossing was like the memingness that it became on the internet, where people were just doing this outlandish shit, and I'm like, damn, I need to get an Animal Crossing so I can make EBG Island.
There are some really
the music videos, that's insane. People making music off of it. I heard Megalovania. I've heard Persona 5 main theme. So much stuff. TikToks, like it's
fucking
crazy.
Wild how much they're doing, and I feel like that's why more people have like gravitated towards this because of how much you've seen it everywhere. Like even people I know who follow me and be like, you convinced me to get Animal Crossing. How just like I've been everywhere with it. Every time someone asks me what I'm playing, I'm like, I'm playing Animal Crossing.
And that's why Baron don't know about the sale. This man about to get blasted.
like for me, like my cousin, he has a Switch and he got a Switch because I got one. And back in the day, we would always play GameCube, PlayStation, all that stuff together. And he's got back into gaming with the Switch, and he picked up Animal Crossing. I'm like, you picked up Animal Crossing? I didn't even know you knew it existed. What? Because like he was like all Mario. He never played a Zelda game. Like he was one of those Nintendo players that's a casual player. Like, you know what I mean? Like he wasn't someone who played all the different franchises. I showed him Xenoblade. He thought I was looking at a trigonometry project, like with that game. Like he was like, "What the hell's going on?"
I had trouble in that class, by the way.
Yeah,
I barely got out of that class.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the casual fan base of Nintendo are picking up Animal Crossing because there's a long wait since Luigi's Mansion, and people didn't even pick up that game. So like, yeah, I picked it up, but there's a lot of people who skipped out. So
yeah, this is my first.
It's one of those things that people wanted a new game, and Animal Crossing was there.
Yeah, it was, and it kind of helps you forget like the shit you can't do in real life. It's like you can be productive without being productive.
Exactly. And you can get in there and hours go by, you go to other people's island, you can do stuff, you know?
Man, I was on Twitter. get people to come to my island.
Yeah,
and
I
things.
saw that. I bet people were.
I had so many people come to my island
Like,
at
come
once.
through.
I was like, I need to stop. I can't pick all this up
I
at
was about
once.
to say, Destiny, that might have been the worst you did because you're gonna have everybody who's like, I'm going to Destiny's Island.
And then you get the 40 seconds of low time landing and
For
lifting
real,
off.
I had like 7 people come at once. Every time a new person came, I was stuck. I was like, I can't
And you
even
hear
get
the
to my house
elevator
to
music,
empty my
too.
pockets.
Yeah, that's why I said, I
The
don't know
elevator
about all
music
Stop
is
that.
playing
the
for 20
worst.
minutes while these people come.
They were flying in by the stack. They dropped everything they were doing. They could have been in the middle of anything. They were like,
I wasn't expecting that. I was like,
I want to fly in for the cherries and the peaches and the pears coming through.
oh man, they're like, this is the next best thing. I'm going for this. Let's go.
and then someone sent me some screenshots from like their people on their island that was like, because I went to like 2 or 3 different people's islands, and someone was like sending screenshots because my name in the game is FOMO. It's not my full name. So there were people like, oh, I heard FOMO goes by another name. She's got a secret identity.
I think somebody literally called you that in the chat. Matter of fact, early on, somebody came in and said, "Oh, she's here." Like, oh, why are you calling her that? But okay.
People do that. I don't know why.
Big channel, 100,000 subscribers plus. Big channel.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm a really chill ass person, and I don't know. Sometimes
Well,
when
people on the
talk to
internet
me,
are
they're
just
like,
not good people.
and
I mean,
I'm just like,
people. I mean, it depends. Like if it's like you're a content creator, right? Like obviously, some people rack different like social skills. Everybody's social skills are at different levels in terms of thought process and all that. You know, so it is what it is. But it's all good. Destiny. I think
people are still people at the end of the day.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
people are
people are
human
still-
beings.
But people
I
love you,
think
Destiny.
people
They
are
love
still
you.
vermins at the end
Yeah,
of the day.
but,
There's
like, I don't
there's
know.
some horrible people out there.
sometimes the
Yeah.
way people approach me is that they think like my nose is up in the air or whatever, and I'm just like, they're like,
No.
wow, you're so chill. I'm like, am I not supposed to be just a regular person?
because they stereotype you as the type of girl because of your looks. So they still think, oh well, this is how girls that look like this act.
This is not how I wake up in the morning.
This is
No,
how
but I'm
I
just
wake
saying,
up in
they
the morning.
stereotype
though.
you. Like for example, it's the same thing that
The
happens.
amount of times I've gotten called a boy, a little boy.
But I'm
A
just
little
saying, like
boy.
they stereotype. That's why it's the same thing. Like if I yell, "Oh, angry black guy," you know what I'm saying? Like the stereotype is like when I'm just like I'm just trying to be passionate about something. But if somebody else can do it, but it's normal. But when I do it, oh, you're angry, you're mad, you're this. I mean, everybody falls victim to stereotypes online. That's all I'm trying to say. You know?
OJ, at least
Yeah.
you get it when you speak. I don't even have to speak. I get it off just a picture. They're just like, yeah, you're that.
You look aggressive.
Yeah, exactly. Aggressive. That's what I get.
You're
Aggressive. I get
Especially
so much.
it's-
You're being aggressive. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm just passionate about something. We good. Like I'm not trying to hate or nothing. I just
Hold
like
up.
video games. I'm just talking in a way like we cool.
For
you
me,
know?
I just have gnarly taste.
And
Oh my God.
especially if you have extra bass in your voice, and then they get really upset when you get a little irritated, then they start marginalize you in that area. So I get it.
Yeah. So that's essentially what's happening with you.
For the
Destiny.
little boy comment, I don't go outside looking like this. I go outside in a big ass hoodie with like all scrunched up with this much of my face showing.
Well, I think you have a
It's
full.
why I can be mistaken for a little boy.
I can't do that here. It's too hot. Like it's already getting to be hot here. Hoodies are
It's
like
starting to get hot over here.
Yeah, it's starting to get hot. I can't
definitely
do that.
hot.
But
Freezing here.
we got some more donations to go through. Ethan R donated $1.99 through Super Chat, and he says Saber greater than Panic Button. So he thinks that Saber is better than Panic Button now at this point, considering The Witcher 3 and now World War Z. He's thinking that Saber's probably eclipsed them. I guess in terms of lately, Saber's definitely on a roll lately. But we'll see what Panic Button got for us, coming up. They got Doom Eternal, so we'll see how that turns out on the Switch with Panic Button. So I think they're definitely Saber's getting up there. And who was it?
Yeah.
THQ Nordic bought Saber for a lot of money. They spent a lot of money on Saber getting them. So I think it was a good purchase because now THQ Nordic will be able to get Switch versions of games out, and make that extra. It will pay for itself essentially, like buying Saber. So yeah, and yeah, they're helping out with Crysis. So I'm guessing that maybe they're doing the Crysis version of the Nintendo Switch, or the Nintendo Switch version of Crysis Remastered. They're probably doing that or helping out with it at least. So Saber's definitely. They're getting up there. But I mean, what did I tell you? See, I told you all this. I said if the Switch sells, you're gonna get these developers that go out of their way that completely take conventions that that don't work, Western games, and they're gonna contort everything because everyone was complaining about third-party support.
I'm still frustrated though. I'm still frustrated though because they won't bend the knee. Like, make Switch lead platform.
No,
where
they're
is?
not gonna do that.
Man, they gotta do it.
Listen, Shadow Fox, the bias will last until the world ends. You know that it's not going to change. It's like the world.
I agree with that.
The world is never going to be the same.
I agree with that. I think that get these badass developers, that can make the Switch version like it's like that they work on it. They can do their own thing because obviously the specs are different.
Rocksteady on Switch, Rocksteady. Dedicated, like Switch is the lead platform for their game.
It's already hard enough making games. Like, I don't think they're gonna make Switch the lead platform and then have to be like the side platforms are PS4 and like, they're just not. It's gonna basically sell.
But it'd be easier because they did all the hard work on Switch.
But they can just get somebody else to do it that specializes in that. I mean, look, there's problems in PS4 and Xbox One games as there is, even with them being the lead platform. I don't think Switch is gonna make things easier for them, considering that it doesn't have as much RAM, it doesn't have as much. The specs aren't quite up there. Like, I don't think I want that. I want people who specialize in Switch focusing on Switch. I don't think I want like Rocksteady or the main developers doing it because they don't specialize in it. And Urcha Gaming's here. Hey, what's up, Urcha Gaming? Shout outs. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, I think I kind of want like a panic button. People that specialize in Switch. Don't you think so?
Kind of, but the only problem with that is they treat the port like an also ran though, so they don't get nowhere near the budget or the time to make the game sing on the console. So even though like we're seeing miracles happen with Doom and stuff like that, imagine if id actually sat down and made the game for Switch from scratch. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
It would be a night and day difference.
I just don't think there's enough. There's just not enough development time and people to do that. With how hard development already is on platforms, I think that it'd be cool. Hey, let's let these guys that know all about the system. Like, I get what you're saying. Trust me, I totally get that.
And they go back and forth between PlayStation and Xbox, but not with Nintendo. Like, Xbox will be the lead platform on some third-party games, and Sony, PlayStation will be the lead platform on other games. But it's never Nintendo is always like, let's call whoever to go do this quick and dirty 6-month port, and and then they wonder why it doesn't sell as well as the other.
But they've talked about how the ports sometimes take up to a year. I don't know if there's been some that have been quick, but a lot of the ports that, like, for example, Diablo 3 sold well. Overwatch is coming. Overwatch sold well, despite all the controversy. Overwatch sold well. Overwatch 2 is coming. So things are changing a bit, and that's when like it's all about the install base. I think that since the install base is there,
you can't ignore it.
They're making better quality of the games. I think the third-party games that we do have on Switch some people will crap on them because of frame rate or whatever, but I think they're pretty solid overall considering the platform. I think they're pretty good. I don't think I don't think they're bad.
You try to turn on your PlayStation 4. It's not happening.
All right, so let's go and get into more of these donations here. Well, we had a lot of them. Let's see here. The Dark Void donated $1.99. So how about Microsoft buy Sega rumor? That rumor is stupid. Nintendo Power donated $2 and says, what do you think sold more, Final Fantasy VII Remake or Animal Crossing? Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing
by far.
Not even close.
Animal Crossing. All you gotta do
is
look
for how many weeks? How many weeks it's been out too?
Yeah,
like already.
All you gotta do is look at the Japanese sales for Final Fantasy VII Remake, and then look at the debut sales for Animal Crossing, and that will tell you what is like Animal Crossing. People are buying $700 Animal Crossing Switches. How do you think the game is selling if people are willing to buy?
Son, I wish I
think FF7 is going to chart high here.
I know you could have made a fortune. Could have been like David Drayton made a fortune, made a small fortune off of that, man.
Easily, each one for $1,000. You could have did that.
Yeah. David Drayton definitely made a small fortune off of that.
Word. Yo, he just knows. He knows what's going to happen before it happens.
He let people know though.
He's a psychic.
He let people know.
He said don't.
He said don't sleep.
He said don't sleep, and then later, just recently, he's like who slept. He quoted his own tweet and said who slept. So and then he said oh, I had a good weekend, and then he showed and I'm like, oh man, this man made a small fortune. This man made a small money bag. That Uncharted money bag.
Yeah,
I can't hear you.
Yo, we can't hear you, OJ.
Am I cutting out?
Yeah,
you did not hear one word you said.
Why am I cutting out? This is stupid.
It's Discord.
This is so dumb. On my stream, I never cut out.
And did you guys see like how much the Cooking Mama games are going for on eBay?
How much are they going for?
No, they got
I saw
now?
someone selling it for like 5,000 plus.
What?
Is that still wrapped in the seal?
Yeah, it was still
Destiny,
sealed.
I'm top. Destiny, you should sell that. You should sell that game. You got it right. You should totally.
I do
sell
have
it.
it.
Sell mine then.
You should totally sell that game.
I love
You got it,
Cooking Mama.
Shadowfox?
Yeah, I got Cooking Mama. Yeah, most definitely.
Sell it. Sell it down before there's more copies come out. Like before they figure everything out and start getting more copies out. Because they'll figure it out.
They're not gonna figure anything out. They're letting that game. The game was never meant to come out.
Didn't they put one on Wii? I think they put one on Wii. Didn't they put
On the
Cooking
Wii,
Mama on Wii?
yes.
So
On the Wii,
I wonder how
not the
how that
Wii U,
was
but the
going.
Wii had Cookie Mama and the DS had a bunch.
Oh, the DS had the best ones.
DS had the best ones for sure. I used to play that one a lot with my daughter.
And the new Switch model with the flapping screens can have the Cookie Mama games before Destiny.
The flapping screen.
It's just two Switch lights.
two Switch lights. You put them together, you got a super Switch light. New Nintendo Switch Lite XL. So Final Fantasy VII Remake. It sold well. Like, don't get me wrong, that game, it's selling really well, but you can't beat Animal Crossing. You know, you can't beat Animal Crossing. It's that game is just too big.
But speaking of Final Fantasy VII, aren't we gonna?
Yes, we're gonna finish out with Final Fantasy VII Remake, guys. So make sure you hit that like button if you enjoy it. We're gonna finish out with that, and then we'll let these people go about their day. So, Destiny, you play Final Fantasy VII Remake?
I have not yet.
You have not, Chris? Final Fantasy VII Remake?
I've been playing it.
How far are you?
I'm probably 8 hours into the game.
What chapter? Do you know?
I think 5.
Chapter 5. Okay. Shadowfox, you have not played it yet.
No, probably for not a couple of months, maybe.
Okay, and VC, you are pretty close towards the end, right? Chapter.
Yep, chapter 15, 30 hours in.
And Abaddon?
Normal mode, by the way.
Chapter 16 right now.
Chapter 16. Okay, so what are you guys' impressions in terms of, without spoilers? What are you guys' impressions of
Final Fantasy VII Remake is a very great action hack and slash game based off of one of the best JRPGs that ever came out.
It's an action RPG.
It is not an action RPG.
It is an action RPG.
It's an action hack and slash.
That's not even a real genre.
Okay, well, I'm just letting you know,
action is not an actual genre. It's just a slang term.
You sound real ignorant right now. You sound
I played Final Fantasy VII. I've played tons of RPGs, and I've played action RPGs, and this is not an action RPG.
It's an action RPG.
This has light RPG elements that are in the pause menu. Like,
hold up. Let me dismantle this. Okay, let me come on camera for this. Okay, so VC, is Xenoblade Chronicles
to show your face?
I was on camera quite a few times actually. Wasn't paying attention.
I know.
Just like you don't pay attention to this is a action RPG. But let's start here. So you're saying Kingdom Hearts is not an RPG, right? Let's get you on record saying that. Are you saying Kingdom Hearts is not an RPG?
Action RPG.
Well, action RPG.
Well, that's more of an action RPG.
Are you no? But it plays like Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy 15. So are you saying Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts is not action?
It's not the same game.
But it's not
the same game.
But it's very similar.
What makes it not an? What makes
Air
it not
combat's
RPG?
not the same.
What makes it not a? Because RPG stands for role-playing game. So what roles?
Yes, and if you're saying role-playing game, then you're making like Mario. You play as Mario.
No, Mario doesn't barely. That's
your argument.
There's no grand story in Mario. There's no flow of an RPG. In
All
Mario.
I'm saying is that to me, there is not enough RPG elements. To me,
what RPG elements is it missing?
Standing still and fighting. That's
not what that's a turn-based RPG. This is an action RPG.
JRPG.
RPGs are RPGs, and what my perception of an RPG.
It's not about your perception. It's about what
it is. Standing still makes an RPG an RPG. Don't tell me you just said that, did you?
Right.
I don't care. That's exactly how.
That's not VC. What kind of a millennial? What kind of Zoomer bullshit is that, dude? That is not what makes an RPG an RPG.
All I'm saying is that
standing still makes it. So what about Chrono Trigger? It's not Chrono Trigger. So what about Tales of Symphonia? What about Tales of Symphonia? What about Tales? What about Tales of Symphonia? Is that an RPG?
Secret of Mana.
Secret of Mana. Is that Trials of Mana? Are those RPGs?
Trials of Mana is an RPG.
But you don't stand still.
Well, Grandia.
Yeah, but see that one, the way it utilizes the RPG elements is much more fluid,
so
much more realistic to the RPG formula.
So tell me what Final Fantasy VII is missing in terms of an RPG.
Dragon Quest 11.
Well, for me, when it comes to Final Fantasy VII Remake, the battles until Chapter 10 in normal mode, that's when you have to start thinking about what you're doing.
That's not
once you reach Chapter 10.
Tell me what it's missing for an RPG.
I'm not done yet.
Go ahead.
The battle he got worked on.
When it comes to the RPG elements, you literally go and play the game up to Chapter 10, and you have to start thinking about, oh, now I need to use this item at this time before this guy does his attack, and it's all about actual movement, real action in the game, real-time action. RPGs that are action RPGs, they do have real-time action elements, but the way Final Fantasy VII pulls it off, it's more so leaning on the action style of games that you would see like a Bayonetta or a Devil May Cry, more so than a Kingdom Hearts 3 or a Nier when it comes to RPG elements. That's how I see it. They're leaning more towards the action side
let me get
than the
into
RPG of the action RPG, which is why I said it's like an action hack and slash.
OJ, no. Let me get this. So first of all, VC, I want to disclose to everybody why Chapter 10. What happened in Chapter 10, VC? I remember what happened in Chapter 10 to you when you sit off air.
Well, it was before the stream because, like I mentioned, a random boss came out of nowhere
and you got worked.
Yeah, one time. And it was my only.
The difficulty of a game doesn't determine what genre it is, though.
That's point number one.
How hard or how easy you're not. You're not giving yourself enough credit for being good at the game. So maybe you're just good on that difficulty, and other people are having harder times. But a game can be very easy.
That's true.
Chrono Trigger is a very easy game. Chrono Trigger is easy. It is not hard, and that doesn't mean it's not an RPG because it's not hard. You can beat Chrono Trigger in 20 hours, and it's easy. You don't have to grind too much in the game.
So that's my point number one. Let me get point number two. Okay, so the ATB. So you saying it's just a hack slash. You do know that you just can't spam items and magic whenever you want and abilities whenever you want, right?
Well, that's because you have the ATB system.
So wait. So ATB. So ATB is a mechanic that started in RPGs. Shout out to Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy. Yep. Which are RPG games. So you're saying something that has a huge RPG mechanic that is only in RPGs. Is not an RPG game.
There's a lot of other games that are action games that have meters that you use for attacks and stuff. There are other games like that.
But in hack and slash games,
Bayonetta has it.
It does not have an ATB meter.
Not exactly ATB, but you have a meter that you use for your attacks. Don't tell me you don't have that.
Fire Emblem Warriors, does that have a meter for ATB?
Who's talking about Fire Emblem Warriors?
That's a hack. That'd be more of a hack and slash.
Who plays Fire Emblem Warriors? Stop changing the conversation. Now you're moving the goalposts.
Hack and slash. That's more of a hack and slash.
You're moving the goalposts now with Fire Emblem Warriors. No one's talking about Fire Emblem Warriors though. No one's talking about that game.
You said hack and slash. You said it's more of a hack and slash. That people think of Fire Emblem Warriors. People think of One Piece Pirate Warriors. People think of those type of games as hack and slash games.
Everyone's mad. Like, yo, you really had to say something to ruin your night, VC. Nah, I'm standing my ground 100%. This is how I feel. It's an action game more than the RPG side. That's all I'm saying.
But you said that it's not an RPG.
An action RPG, and it could be labeled as an RPG.
No, you said it's not an RPG.
It's an action hack and slash game with RPG elements. That's literally how I feel.
It's still an RPG, whether you like it or not.
Like I just said, even if it's called that.
But you're moving the goalpost.
You're moving the goalpost. That's what I said from the beginning. I have not changed a single thing.
No,
it's exactly what I said from the beginning.
Yes, it's not an RPG.
But if they call it that, I'm gonna say the exact same thing I just said. No, I don't think so.
You haven't proved your point.
Action happens.
VC, hold up, VC. Let me just demonstrate your point real fast. You're saying this controller is not black. This controller is blue. Regardless how you feel, the controller's still black.
Actually, it's gunmetal. It's gunmetal, actually. It's not black, it's gunmetal. So, that's an actual coat.
It's Xenoblade, man. The only difference is I would say is Xenoblade mixed because you actually have to input the attack command.
Let me say this. This game is Xenoblade Chronicles meets Final Fantasy X, in my opinion.
I personally I think it's like a regular like Final Fantasy 15 meets Mass Effect.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 15. Yeah, I don't see Final Fantasy 10. I don't see that at all.
Meets Mass Effect. I think that's what this game
is.
VC,
yes. Without spoiling VC, there's reasons why I mentioned Final Fantasy 10, and you should know that. You should know that. You're far enough in the game. You're far enough to the game why I said Final Fantasy 10. There's some elements of Final Fantasy 10 that are in this game that I don't want to spoil for nobody.
Here's the reason why I think it's an RPG. And just like light RPG elements, what they do in this game is that they strip away the whole when you level up, you get this point, and these different types of things. What they do is that you get points to put into your weapons, and then your weapons level you up. A spear grid, Final Fantasy X. You know what I'm saying? It's a spear grid. Final Fantasy 13 also did a spear grid. Spear grid's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like it's definitely an action RPG. It has RPG elements. It has plenty of RPG elements. It has ATB gauges right there. It has leveling up to where you can increase your magic, you can increase your speed, you can increase different things. It has roles that you play within a grand story, which is a staple of RPG games. A staple. Mario is not you don't play roles. You play one dude, and he barely even talks and doesn't say anything, and you run around. Final Fantasy VII, you have plenty of talking, dialogue, a grand story, and a bigger cause. And that's what the role-playing games are. You play multiple roles. Heck, even at times, you don't even have like Cloud. You're playing Barrett, or you're playing other characters. You're playing, somebody else. So that's the reason why it's an RPG. Now, is it as hardcore as, the old Final Fantasy, or is it as hardcore as some of the other ones? Maybe not. No. But just because it's lighter on those experiences doesn't make it not an RPG. Yes, it's definitely action. I feel you there. You know what I'm saying, VC? I feel you. There's a lot of action in this game, but it's an action RPG, and you can get pretty in depth. And I think that it solves one of the big problems with RPGs. Remember in old school RPGs, you get a weapon. As soon as you get the new weapon that's better, toss that weapon aside. This game completely fixes that. 100% fixes it. You know what I beat the game with? The freaking Buster Sword. And my Buster Sword.
Me too. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Was awesome.
Buster Sword is amazing.
Yeah, but if you want, you don't have to just use the Buster Sword. You can use, like, let's say you want to use more materia with Cloud, you can use a different weapon. Let's say you want higher attack power, and like they each have different spear grids for the weapons. So it's beautiful how they did this, and they played around with the RPG elements.
And on top of that, okay, OJ, this is not really a spoiler, but this is more like a review aspect of it. So what I'm going to get into is more of a review aspect. Each weapon has their own abilities.
Mm-hmm. On their spear, they have a different spear grid. Exactly.
Exactly. So when you level up that ability, you can use that ability on another weapon. So that
transferred over, which is cool.
That was mind blowing to me. It's like the game itself is built to be more customizable to the player and how you want to play. That's why I'm gonna say how
beautiful the game is. Excluding textures of doors, it's a very beautiful game.
Yes, graphics are good.
And on the base PS4 as well.
Yeah. Who's gonna Destiny? Are you gonna play this game at some point?
I am. I've just been so engulfed in Animal Crossing.
I've been playing this whole entire podcast. I've been playing this game on my big screen TV. Like I went from playing. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I went from playing on my monitor to my big screen, and it's like I'm willing to sacrifice any input delay to play on here because it looks so much better.
Oh, Final Fantasy.
Yes, it looks so much better on here. It's this game.
That's why I leave my PS4 over there and not linked to like my setup right here. Like having the big TV is just so much better.
Final Fantasy is a game that really, if you have a nice TV, play it on the nice TV. Although it looks
sit
great
down
on
that couch, get your chips, and
it looks great on my. And to be honest, like it definitely, you'll probably get a little bit better. Like you'll be better playing it on a monitor because the response time will be better. But the trade-off, you know what I'm saying? Like you have a little bit slower response time on the bigger TVs. But if you play, like I noticed that I did better on my monitor when I played on my monitor than when I played on my TV. But man, it looks really good. Unless you have one of those super high quality, low lagless monitors, with game modes on, TVs. But most of them, like if you have like a 4K TV, there's no way in hell it's gonna be as fast as a response time is gonna be as fast as like a monitor.
OJ, how long did it take to install this game?
I don't know because I left.
For me, it was only 20 minutes. Honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I
was doing that thing where it streams as it goes.
No.
It was quick for me. It was almost instant.
I downloaded the game. Well, you guys installed it from you guys bought the game physical, right?
No, I couldn't get it physical. I downloaded.
Yeah, I downloaded it.
But GameStop hit me up, said they was gonna let me buy it online with the deposit I put on it. So I will have my deluxe copy tomorrow, and I will keep that just as a memento. Like for me, I have the
Nice.
original Final Fantasy 7, so I'll hear myself.
I want to buy it too, but when it comes out on the Xbox One X or when it comes out on the Xbox Series X, I am gonna buy that game so fast. I cannot wait to play that game on the Series X. It is going
my god,
unbelievable on there. If they take their time and do it right, or PC, or Series X.
I'm doing PC.
I'm gonna go with Series X, and oh my gosh, I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna literally be like right in April when that exclusivity deal runs out. They're gonna announce it before then, or they're gonna announce it right after that. And I cannot wait to play it on the Series X. I think it's gonna be.
Who wants to talk about the game? I'll talk about it last. I'll go last.
What do you want to talk about?
No, about the game. I'll go last.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean, what I'm looking at right now, like, I need to probably play this pretty soon.
That's what I'm telling you.
I want to mention the particle effects in this game are the best particle effects I've seen in any.
I'll give you that too. Yeah, like
anytime you hit an attack, you feel it every time. Like you feel like you yourself are hitting the enemy, and it's like that feeling. It invigorates you to constantly want to face enemies. It makes it colorful with the popping of the particle effects. Every time you see the clashing of the weapons, it's insane.
I'll say this. It's like
spectacle.
I'll say this, like with this game, they paid so much attention to detail, not in only the graphics, but like small like mechanics and like how the characters interact with each other. The whole game is voice acting. There is
every character, every NPC,
every character, even the NPCs. So it's like when you're walking through areas, you hear the conversations of other people, and it makes you want to be more immersed in the environment. That is something that drew me into the game more. It's like I found myself spending more time listening to the conversations, and as you do more things, you're going to hear the conversations change throughout the town based on what you do, which is why I would say this game, they paid attention to detail, and without spoiling anything, and I'm not giving the spoilers, I'm just gonna make sure I give you no spoilers with this. They make sure that they pay attention to the lore of the game.
That's what I was like.
They are paying attention to the lore. So there are some parts that may seem retconned, but it's just more of a fleshing out, if anything.
All I have to say
is a dumb question real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is there, everybody on here right now? I'm pretty sure Baron has too. Everybody's played the original game, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So based on playing the original game and playing, you can okay. I'm looking at it's a brand new game to me, so I'm looking at like it looks like a brand new RPG.
It's
that Square is making based on
very expansive. I'll just say that
it's essentially a new game. But like I said, I don't want to go too deep into it because I beat the game. Nobody else here has beat the game. And when you play the game all the way through, when you will, I mean, people are already playing it, you can see. But when you beat the game, especially if you're into Final Fantasy and all of it, I came away very satisfied and more satisfied beating this game than the original game.
Oh wow,
that's good. Yeah,
that's
this
a
game.
Yeah,
like because listen,
and 7
like,
isn't even my best in the series. But
listen, like I gotta put it to you this way: it's like the amount of time there's. OJ, can we say how many chapters are in the game? Are we?
No, that's fine because Square Enix.
There's
18 chapters.
There's 18 chapters in the game. By the time I got to chapter 3, that's around the time span it will probably take me to beat Midgar itself.
Yeah, I mean
that's to show you how. And I would say, and I'm a disclaimer this. From that part of the game, that wasn't padding, but in the latter part of the games, there is some padding. I will get that out. I want to be very real with you guys.
Yeah.
On the parts that.
There's padding. Chapter 17 is probably one of the worst padded chapters in the whole game. There's padding and there's definitely some issues. Like the game isn't 100% perfect, but like I said,
the game's not perfect.
Its highs are super high. You know what I'm saying?
The
like
lows.
its lows can be pretty bad.
Low.
Almost like Breath of the Wild in a kiss, right? Like Breath of the Wild has some pretty bad lows but when it's good, it's really, 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 really good. You know.
It's like I would say this is one of the most fun parts in out of this game are the boss battles. The boss battles for me were just always amazing because the boss battles, kind of like in Final Fantasy, you could find a way to beat a boss. It's like just if you have a good loadout, you say, okay, I'm just gonna keep doing this, and you can beat that boss. This game actually requires you to think, and you kind of have to develop a strategy for the boss, which is
after chapter 10.
I would even say
before chapter 10.
Even before chapter 10.
Yeah,
some
people talking about
bosses,
your first boss, you can do mad damage if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, but
you just gotta stagger them. You have to put enough pressure on them so they stagger, and then you have to alternate through each of your characters that also have ATBs at the same time, and then you all attack at once. Like
the game the game is built like normal mode. You're not, if you're competent in games, you're not supposed to be dying over and over.
I get that. I understand.
Yeah, like you're not.
I
it's
just
not
wish that
supposed
hard
to be
mode
hard
was there. Like
mode.
it's the same situation with Kingdom Hearts 3. I wish the hard mode was there. I know it's there after you beat normal mode, but like, why not just have it there?
If it was
I know, but that's what I like. I played Nier Automata, I beat the game, and then I played the hardest mode, and I couldn't
will have a field day with you.
I don't think, personally, based off of what I've seen, putting you at level rigorous. 1 with how hard the hard mode actually is, you wouldn't be able to beat it. You wouldn't. It would be too hard to beat, or they'd have to rebalance it to where somehow
you have to grind levels.
Yeah, like somehow you'd be
grind to get Kuraga, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah, you'd have to grind way too much to beat it because
all that stuff. Barrier.
Hard mode is too hard. You can't use items, so hard mode is too hard. You can't use any items. So
but I like that kind of stuff. Like I love Cuphead. I beat on expert mode, solo.
Cuphead is different. Cuphead's different.
Yeah, Cuphead's totally different.
Yeah, because Cuphead.
Yeah, but it's a tough game. Very tough game, especially in expert mode.
No, yeah, you're right. Absolutely, Cuphead is definitely tough. It's very hard, but Cuphead doesn't have like the basic way that you play Cuphead. It's not.
It's totally different. Obviously, it's obviously a totally different game.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I see what you're saying.
Difficulty is all I was saying.
But
Final Fantasy 3 Remake on DS was probably the hardest one that I've played. Out of that.
So that's Final Fantasy. That's the real Final Fantasy 3.
The real Final Fantasy 3, the NES Final Fantasy 3 that was remade for DS. It was damn hard.
The Final Fantasy 7 Remake, guys, it has big gaps between the difficulties. So easy is a walk in the park. Normal gives you a normal challenge, like in terms of you have to use your
classic stuff. Is like not even classic. It's like an actual cakewalk. You're walking on.
I don't know what the hell classic was even in there for.
You know what classic is? You know what classic is? Classic is if you just want to watch the game, but you want button.
Yeah, so there's classic, and then the hard mode in the game.
That's that Death Stranding mode.
Is legitimately hard. Like it bumps it up quite considerably.
Yeah.
I mean, but you can do New Game Plus though, so it definitely helps you out there. All right, so I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Everybody gave their thoughts in terms of Final Fantasy.
The game is.
I'm not a fan of the air combat, but
yeah, I have a review coming tomorrow. My review is coming. Some people actually already watched it.
I thought it released today. Yeah,
because I accidentally put it on my playlist, but even though it was unlisted, but it's coming tomorrow. So I think 12 of you guys watched it today. So shout out to everybody who watched it today. But I actually have my full review. It'll be up tomorrow. But yeah, the air combat is definitely something that's
I'm enjoying the game.
Yeah, it's a meh. It's kind of meh. Yeah, I know Gunslinger, because you made a comment on it. Some of you guys already watched it. Watch it again, okay? Watch it again. Anyway,
just let it play in the background.
We have some donations, and then we'll wrap it up here. We'll do some outros. Let me get these people out of here because it's late in the East Coast, boys.
Yeah, it's almost 2:00 over here.
Yeah, it's pretty late.
I want to play some Final Fantasy 7.
I've been playing it this whole time.
Let's see here.
No shame.
I was playing Animal Crossing and also playing some other games before, so I was playing other stuff.
I'm going to try to unlock Cosmos.
Quest for Glory Gamer super chatted $2 and says, I'm on chapter 14, 20 hours and loving it. Sup, OJ? Yeah, it's a great
hours. 20 hours in chapter 14.
That's a little bit. Yeah, this stuff. He's
early.
He's skipping things. Matthew Hammond says, Matthew Hammond donated $1. Says Final Fantasy VII Remake looks like a 3D beat 'em up. They need to team up with Sega and make a Golden Axe remake. Okay.
That'd be cool.
Nintendo Power donated $5 and says, VC, there are roles in this game. You play more than just Cloud. Knife Boy. You set specialized materia on certain characters. And switch around roles. So he's basically explaining what's going on there. Yeah, there's magic, there's RPG, there's plenty of RPG elements in there. To make it one. Cortland Robinson donated $5 as well and says, if you Google Final Fantasy VII Remake right now, it's in the description, action RPG. So, there you go.
By the way, when it comes to Final Fantasy VII, I do want to mention, rest in peace to Keiji Fujiwara, who is the voice actor for Reno, Axel, and Mewtwo in Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
So
very important.
I would do want to mention
he died of
very
cancer.
unfortunate.
I think he died of cancer.
Yep.
So very sad. I love
Wasn't that the
and
same guy
Arden
that was
too.
Lau in Xenoblade?
Yeah, he's Arden as well.
Yeah, Arden in Final Fantasy 15, which is probably the best character in the game. One of the best characters in the game. Arden's awesome.
He's a great voice actor.
Yeah, he's such a, and we lost the real one, man, because like he was amazing. He did so much Square Enix work, like you said, Mewtwo. You know, and the fact that he passed away sucks. It really, this life sucks. It sucks in some parts.
Oh yeah, 2020 was. Everyone's like, oh, 2019's horrible. Well, the higher power was like, oh really now?
Hold my beer.
I'm almost positive we're getting punished for our sins, or something's happening, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's retribution right now, man, because
It's
this
the
is
year
not,
of retribution.
This is not normal.
2020, everyone was like, 2020 our year. 2020 was like, you would have thought.
So Diamond got timed out for saying Tifa's not attractive.
Diamond be simping in the chat.
My man Diamond is he's funny, man. Because if a woman like Tifa walked up to him, this man would get on his hands and knees and be like, "What do you want?"
Hands and knees and kissing her knees.
Yeah, like what do you want, bro? Chill, man. Tifa ain't real. Let me just say this right now. Tifa's
like relax, Diamond.
She's real in her heart.
Even if she was,
Yeah,
there's some old logic to go on.
She's not real. Although I've seen women that look like Tifa. Like I don't think she's like. You can't see women that look like Tifa. She's not like, oh my gosh, this is the craziest woman that I've known.
I mean, it's
just
just
black hair. The shape that she's in, though, she's in extremely good shape.
Yeah,
So
she's
that's-
fit.
Yeah, she's
Athletic,
She's the pull-up
acrobatic.
champion. She's the pull-up champion. Did you guys beat that mini game?
The pull-up one, yeah, it was tough.
Screw
The
that
squat
mini-
one was easy though.
Screw that mini game, dude.
Did you do the fight arena afterwards with all of them?
I did. I have
I
one.
actually didn't do that.
I have one more
didn't do
left.
that.
I did. Well, I only did up to the 4-star. I think they probably gonna give you more after you beat the game.
Yeah.
Wait. Are you talking about the fighting arena? Like that thing? That I did that. I thought you were talking about something else. Like
Yeah, they give you some more. They give you some more afterwards, and then there's
They
like
give you.
there's more. Like I don't want to.
Yeah.
There's more stuff. So
I figured it would be.
yeah.
OJ, I'm gonna say is I'll tell you off there. I'll tell you off
I'll
there.
let you play your game. We're gonna go and we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. Katana Riku donated $2 and says, "Awesome podcast tonight, fire." Thank you so much, Katana Riku. Joey NYC, who's a friend of the channel. I don't know, Destiny. You know about who's this Joey NYC guy?
You went out. I didn't hear you.
Who's this Joey NYC guy? You know who he is? Is he cool?
He's an Xbox fanboy.
Let's see. So Joey NYC's never trust a girl who loves the Virtual Boy and sleeps with the N64 controller under her pillow. Now, I'm not naming names. I'm just saying.
Wow.
Who's he talking about, Destiny?
Wow.
His
On
real-
blast.
Who's he
It's
talking
cool.
about?
It's cool.
Is he talking?
When the Xbox Series S flops.
Wow.
Oh man, let's go. I love the banter between you two. That's great. Shout out to Joey. Hey, thanks for the support, bro. I appreciate it. Also, Juice Man Vaughn donated $2 and says just want to say that Tifa is the best girl in Final Fantasy VII Remake. She's not the best girl. You know who the best girl is? The girl,
Madam M and House Mother.
No,
Come on,
no.
House Mother.
No,
House Mother.
She's too old. No.
And Madam M. What do you mean
the-
House Mother?
The best girl is the girl
Aged like fine wine.
from
Come
the
on.
what's it called, from the Leaf House that goes and moonlights.
Nah, get out
As
of
a
here.
Yes, she's
Get
she's
outta
all
here.
no makeup, natural hair.
Abaddon.
No makeup,
where's the
natural
elbow?
hair. She can dance.
Say that.
She can dance, dude. That's the best girl right there. That's the best girl. She looks
All right.
great. She has those nice little glasses on. Ooh, there we go. That's the best girl.
Everyone's
right there.
saying bruh. And
She
Cap.
can dance. She can dance. She's smart. She's a teacher.
Cloud Dance is better than her. Come on.
Wait, okay, Cloud can dance, but Cloud can dance for sure. Cloud can dance, but that's different. He's trying to. That's dancing to save your friend's life or something like that.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
This
Like
girl can
literally, imagine
naturally
me told on the
dance.
spot,
Trust
dance
me.
to save your friend's life. I'd be
I-
like, well, I guess they're dying.
If I had to save one of you guys' life, I'm gonna turn into Michael Jackson. Don't worry, I'm gonna do my best I can.
You're gonna try and
saying-
moonwalk and slip.
No, I'm gonna do the best I can to learn how to dance because he practices beforehand. You know, you get your little practice in, and then you go dance.
He cut out again.
He cut out for a good 30 seconds on me.
I said
Hey, he
you
still
get
cut
your-
it out.
Cut it.
Who-
Cut it.
Man, this is
Could-
stupid. because it shows that my little green screen is active, so Discord can screw off. You like to see me dance? Where did I dance? There's probably a video where I dance like every day on stupid Buck Bumble music.
Well, that's not dancing. That's doing this. All right.
That's dancing.
You do it so much, I've seen it enough times. It's the OJ.
Remember, there was a kid in high school. There was a kid in high school that used to always go to the school dances, and that's all. He would just sit in the corner, and just be like, just going like this the whole time.
He probably saw his uncle do it one time at one of his bar mitzvahs, and it's like, that's how you dance.
And he'd throw in a dice roll. He'd be like,
yeah, and then you switch it the other way, reverse.
Yeah, he would go like this and then go
forward.
He was just like, I'm like, that dude is literally gonna sit there for 2 hours and do this and then dice roll and then do this and then dice roll. Sometimes he mixes it up though. Sometimes he dice roll for a little bit longer on one side and then go straight into the other dice roll and then go into this right here. So he had some variations to his dancing, man. Shout outs to Matthew Wolford with the $2 Aussie dollars, Aussie. And he says, always awesome podcast and great panel as usual. Thank you. Aaron says, Aaron donated $2, says, biggest L for the night goes to VC.
Hey, Aaron, all I know is that there's more action in this action RPG than RPG elements in this action RPG. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. What RPG elements is it missing? One more time.
He says
the good RPG elements.
Like what?
The stuff that makes it feel like an RPG.
So tell
Not
me
that it makes me feel like it's an action hack and slash
from
game.
an RPG that it's missing.
The elements that make you feel like, you know what, this is a remake of the best RPG of all time.
What?
And like Matthew Hammond says, V Sips is not wrong. I'm never wrong. 100% click in the building.
What elements from an RPG is it missing?
Well, it's definitely missing a lot of Numa, that's for sure.
Standing still.
Yeah, standing still.
yeah, standing still.
I love Octopath Traveler. What can I say? I love old school RPGs. What can I say?
RPG. I'm Secret of Mana is old school.
I know, and it's an action RPG. I know. You guys can't tell if you guys read the chat, y'all know I'm making a rise for entertainment. If y'all haven't,
I see a bunch of L's in the chat.
Oh well, they like handing L's. I like smoking L's. Those are the L's I smoke.
Wow, on air too.
I don't care.
Not even your stream.
It's not even your stream.
There's nothing wrong with that.
We don't endorse drug usage on this podcast.
I don't endorse it either. I'm just being honest. I'm not gonna lie.
Abaddon's gone. Psychopie donated $2. He's bearing mind.
He's gone turning off Final Fantasy 7 Remake because he's been playing on easy mode. That's why he hasn't said there's any issues.
Psychopie donated $2. Says Baron might as well hand off his L to VC. Oh man, yeah, they're just. Anyway, let's go and let's do some sign offs so I can get you guys.
They're saying I'm getting destroyed and I'm the only one here chilling. I'm big boy booling. What are you talking about?
So Destiny, where can they find you at?
Destiny FOMO on all social media platforms.
Yay, Destiny. Awesome stuff. Also, Chris, where can they find you at, my man?
Y'all can find me all across social media, mainly on Twitter and Discord and YouTube at Chris Levi 13. I do a lot of live streams. The occasional video is something that perks my interest, and I'm a very, very supportive person. So if you support me, I support you. I support a lot of people. And if you like seeing some live streams, a guy that dances at every stream when I get to a certain like ratio, then come by and see me.
Eddie he freestyles and he raps too.
Yeah. I'm about to get him on a song one day.
He freestyles and raps too.
This dancing, see, like me, I throw in a little bit of rhythm though. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll do something like this. You know what I'm saying? I want to just go straight like.
Abaddon, you got the NPC. Bring the beat up.
So
there it is.
Oh, there it is. Abaddon, where can they find you at, my man?
Y'all can find me on youtube.com/Abaddon Smith and /Beach Breakfast. Actually, surprise tomorrow. We have an interview with this guy down here below me, OJ. We definitely have an interview for Beats for Breakfast. So 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, Beats for Breakfast, youtube.com/Beats for Breakfast, exactly how it's spelled. And yeah, it's gonna be a dope episode.
It's all right. Abaddon, do you still need that? I saw your message, but I get so many messages.
Nope, the video's done, uploaded, everything.
Do you need a PNG file?
No, I needed it for I was gonna use it for like the background of the actual video, but the video's actually like uploaded and exported already.
Oh well, I'm sorry.
So you good? Nah, it's all good. It's all good.
I got lost in my message because like 10 million people DM me every single day asking.
It's all good, homie.
Shadow Fox, where can they find you at?
You can find me at youtube.com/Rick Ross. I mean, Shadow Fox. So just go right there, and then you'll see a bunch of angry man stuff where I'm actually talking polite instead of angry. But feel free to construe it as angry. Also find me on social media, drinking the tears of everyone.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay.
Shadow Fox's social media is great, man. The people. Oh, man.
It is. It's hilarious.
It's
even there's sometimes Shadow Fox now. We're too old for this. Let's talk about something else.
I'm too old. I can't wait to retire. I'm old. I'm too old.
You just turned 46. And what's today? The 17th, and Sunday I turned 32. So yeah,
I'm old. 46. My back.
And tonight was Baron's birthday.
Yeah, today was. Birthday. Yeah, today was definitely
yesterday.
Baron's birthday. Or yeah.
Well, now it's yesterday.
Yeah, so he didn't really say nothing. He probably, I don't know. He's probably just chilling with the family or something. All right, MVC, where can they find you at?
You can find me at youtube.com/VCIPZ. I have hilarious, crazy hot takes, and a lot of my videos, I have these jokes in them. And like, you might have not seen it, but in my indie video, I said Wargroove is better than Fire and Three Houses. I have this hilarious clip thing I did. Oh god, and people were raging in the chat because I just like to get a rise out of people.
You like stirring the pot?
Of course. I like stirring the pot, putting extra seasoning in the pot, spicing it up a little. Aaron's like youtube.com/L. I don't know about that, Aaron. You're subscribed and you're a member of the community. You gotta hold an L too then. But aside from that, I do a lot of music. I do a lot of live streams, all that stuff. And yeah, give him that culture, L. Abaddon.
I'm holding up my age.
And if you guys want to help us out, reach 1,100 subscribers or 40 away. Check us out for video game content, music, and more. Live streams all the time.
Nice. Sounds good. I think did somebody drop out or no?
It likes to move around. I've noticed Discord's been moving all of us nonstop.
Musical chair.
It moves around when someone goes off camera.
Okay, yeah, you're right. It does do that. All right. So thank you guys so much for joining us today. I appreciate it. I'll have a video for you guys in the morning. Final Fantasy VII Remake review, a lazy review of the game, which turned out to be not as lazy as I thought it was gonna be, but it's definitely a lazy review of the game because I'm tired of people spoiling everything. Every review should be lazy. It should just be talking about certain stuff. But these new reviews spoil the game, so I will not spoil the game for you guys. It'll be all the footage is based off of the first 3 chapters, nothing but past chapter 3.
OJ. So, hey OJ.
Yeah.
You all right?
You all right? After VC was talking about this, a lot of action RPG. I just wanted to say like, get your ass out of here. That's what I want to say. Like, get your ass out of here. I just wanted to say that after you talking. It's not an RPG.
Yo, Barrett. People were not liking Barrett's voice. He was probably one of my favorites in this whole entire game.
Oh yeah, he's definitely one of the best, easily.
I mean, it's stereotype, but it's like a good stereotype.
It's Mr. T. Yo, like
Cole
he
Train.
literally. Like when he literally the voice actor said like why he voiced him in a way because it's like he wanted to circumference which you guys did see who played the game far enough. He wanted to give every side of Barrett, the freedom fighter side and showing him, with his daughter and everything. So it's like
they did a fantastic job of portraying Barrett's character in the game.
Barrett, a better supporting character than Groose.
Bruce? It doesn't even compare. Bruce is stupid.
Barrett's
like my 9 million times better than Bruce.
Like Barrett in this game, I would say it's like he's way more likable.
Oh, absolutely.
I would say
I like him in the original game. So.
I will even go as far as to say the length and the content in this game. If I do come out with a review or a video, is how is this game rated teen?
Oh, easy.
Yeah,
you slash people and there's 0 blood.
That's the only thing. But everything else,
there's no
F. The topics.
There's no F word. You slash people. There's no F word. You slash people. There's no blood. It's just the B word.
Like
there's there's not too much cussing in the game. There's not that.
Did you finish the game?
There's some.
There's the B word.
There's a lot,
but it's not excessive.
The B word and the S word, like that's not.
It's not that bad. The cussing's not that bad. It's not that bad. I don't think the cussing. It's typical dialogue that you.
I would say even some
window is there too, though, right?
Yeah, even some of the stuff that Cornero says that was like wild.
Yeah. That's just who he is.
Like I don't really think that this game is.
He's meant to be a creep.
I don't really think that this game is that bad. I think if I would feel very comfortable if I had, I don't have my daughter's 8, or she's turning 8. But if she was 12 or 13, I'd feel very comfortable letting her play this game, or if I had a son, letting him play this game. No problem. At that, wouldn't you? Like when your kid gets to that age, you'd let him play, right? At 12 or 13? No,
not really. No, because some of it's like there's some things that at least the content wise that I've heard, and I'm not trying to give spoilers and everything because that might spoil the game. But even just some lines as you walk through some of the things, the whole of chapter 9. Like the whole of chapter 9.
It kind of seems like stuff that's the innuendo and stuff that's gonna happen is like birds and the bees talk anyway. They're gonna hear at school, or they're gonna hear by the wayside. I mean, at some point they're gonna know about that type of stuff.
There's the reason they have to put that is because there's always going to be that person that my child did this because they played this game and they said this because.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I can see why, but I mean, the rating is teen. So if you're, I think, 12, you can.
The teen is cursing, violence, and cursing, fantasy violence, and
smoking usually is in teen games.
12.
Too.
If you're 12 years old, you can go out and buy this game. If you're 12, so
it's that easy.
It's. I mean, I don't think they'd even card. I think even if you're under 12, I don't think they'd even card you. Like
they don't only card you.
They don't card you.
Yeah. Where's your card? I'm 12. I don't have a.
You don't have a card. There's no school ID.
14-year-olds have cards.
Your milk card. Milk pass card.
Here's my social security number. They're gonna take from the kid. Like.
Yeah, I mean, because I remember when I was that age, when I was 10, I was buying games that were rated teen. So when
I was that age, I got Resident Evil 4, and I was so happy.
They just told me, how old are you? And I'd say old enough, and they're like, good enough for me. And
but you know what?
That's how it was back then.
But you know what though? Teen rated games, like growing up when, at least when I was growing up, teen rated games are different than they are now. I guess it's like there's more things. You even said the same about movies too. Like PG-13 movies are like different than they were back in the 90s.
Yeah,
early 2000s.
It depends. But what also depends is the time I got to get you guys out of here because it's super late. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys follow everybody here. Thank you, Destiny, for showing up. I appreciate you. Whenever you can join. But if you can't, don't feel pressured. Whenever you can join, you can join. It's not a requirement. But thank you so much for showing up, Destiny. You had great insight. It was great having you on. Of course, VC, thank you. Shadow Fox.
Thank you for having me on again.
No problem. Chris, thank you for being our guest. And Avedon, thank you.
Stu was always homie.
Thank you for multitasking.
Always lit.
Listen, I tried to make sure as soon as I heard different things, like boom, put the game down for a sec.
It's my time to show face.
Destiny understands me.
Crazy shit. Be substantial crazy shit.
Destiny understand. Listen, man. I can play and throw out L's at the same time.
Hey, all I know is those ain't the L's I'm catching, and y'all know the kind.
Bruh, BC, you still haven't explained what mechanics. You still haven't explained what mechanics it's lacking in terms of an RPG.
Sir,
you said they don't stand still, bro. That was one of your points.
VC, if you're catching those, it's still pretty low. But anyway,
but all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who supported. Also, PsychoPie says, Baron. Oh, okay, yeah, we already got that. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for the donations. We'll see you guys tomorrow for my video, 6 a.m., 9 a.m. Eastern.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace.